Ghislain's inner voice echoes as he acknowledges a name he knows all too well. In a moment of frustration, Ghislain struggles with feelings of being uncontrollable, overwhelmed by his past. He remembers being a swordmaster confined to his room, trapped by his own circumstances. Ghislain reflects on his past madness, symbolized by him holding a flower, representing his lost innocence. Sitting on a throne, Ghislain is labeled as Count Perdium's useless oldest son, a title he desperately wants to change. A bold declaration is made, questioning how the best knight of the North could be defeated by someone deemed worthless. The unknown knight, covered in blood, is furious about being defeated by Ghislain, whom he considers garbage. In the midst of chaos, the unknown knight taunts about the trap he set, emphasizing the effort and resources invested. Amidst the flames, Ghislain stands resolute, wielding his weapon with determination. Ghislain, shrouded in mystery, asks the defeated knight if he likes the outcome, asserting his newfound power. The unknown knight is shocked, realizing Ghislain anticipated his trap and knew his plans. Ghislain approaches confidently, revealing he knew more than just the trap. He continues, explaining he was aware of the entire setup. Ghislain reveals he knew the number of enemies and their identities. He knew about the spies and the reinforcements, showcasing his strategic foresight. Ghislain declares he was aware of everything from the beginning, emphasizing his preparedness. The unknown knight is in disbelief, feeling his hidden strategies were exposed. In a furious outburst, the knight questions how Ghislain, once considered useless, could defeat him. Ghislain delivers a powerful blow, silencing the knight's protests. Standing over the defeated knight, Ghislain commands him to be quiet, asserting his dominance. Ghislain declares his determination to win every battle, no matter how many invasions occur. With confidence, Ghislain reveals he has all the plans needed for victory. Flashback to a year ago at the Luthinia Kingdom near the Perdium estate, setting the stage for past events. Ghislain wakes up, confused and breathless, questioning what just happened. Realizing he's alive, Ghislain is shocked and tries to make sense of his situation. He struggles to comprehend his survival, recalling his recent past. A sudden explosion signifies a dramatic turn of events, adding to the chaos. A massive weapon is launched, indicating a fierce battle is underway. Ghislain, bloodied and exhausted, expresses frustration with the unfolding events. A character is shown in a dramatic, blood-soaked moment, highlighting the intensity of the battle. Idun stands over a fallen Ghislain, acknowledging the end of his reign as a mercenary king. Idun declares the war over, revealing her status as one of the continent's top noble knights. Idun asks Ghislain for any last words, but he only laments his unfulfilled revenge. Ghislain, bloodied and defiant, is labeled as one of the continent's top mercenary kings. Idun smirks at Ghislain's arrogance, finding it amusing. Idun reveals she knows about Ghislain's past, including his family's downfall. Ghislain questions how Idun knows so much about him, despite being from another kingdom. Idun explains she worked hard to track him down, showing her dedication. Idun reveals her alliance with the Delphin household to bring down Ghislain's family. Ghislain is shocked by the revelation of Idun's involvement, exclaiming in disbelief. Ghislain is shocked to learn there were other conspirators beyond Duke Delphine's household. Idun tells Ghislain to accept his fate, implying his end is near. In a fit of rage, Ghislain vows never to forgive Idun. Idun responds calmly, seemingly unfazed by Ghislain's anger. Ghislain recalls being decapitated, yet he finds himself alive, questioning reality. He is bewildered by his survival, feeling his head still attached. Ghislain wonders if everything was a hallucination, noticing he's in his younger body. He questions if he was used for experiments, determined to make his captors regret it. Ghislain is startled by someone calling him young master. Ricardo, a soldier of the Perdium household, enters, acknowledging Ghislain's presence. Ricardo, with a serious expression, holds a sword, ready for confrontation. He threatens to spare a life if his questions are answered, showing his determination. Ghislain, with a piercing gaze, questions Ricardo's intentions, adding tension. Ricardo is taken aback, addressing Ghislain as young master with surprise. Ghislain challenges Ricardo, asserting that a refusal is final, showing his resolve. Confused, Ghislain wonders why Ricardo is reacting as if he's being threatened. Ricardo explains that Ghislain exhausted himself and fell asleep after a tantrum. Ricardo reminds Ghislain of his earlier outburst about leading a raid on the orcs. Ghislain is surprised by the mention of orcs, indicating a gap in his memory. Ghislain is incredulous about his tantrum, while Ricardo urges him to prepare as others are waiting. Ghislain is puzzled about gathering his belongings and questions their destination. Ricardo casually mentions they're heading to the Perdium estate, surprising Ghislain. Ghislain is shocked by the mention of the Perdium estate, recalling its downfall. In disbelief, Ghislain demands Ricardo to repeat himself, showing his urgency. Ghislain is stunned, questioning if the estate is truly the fallen Perdium estate. Ghislain looks over the landscape, seeing the Perdium estate intact, contrary to his memories. He is bewildered by the estate's condition, remembering it as destroyed. Ricardo jokes about Ghislain having a nightmare, warning him about calling the estate fallen. Ghislain pinches himself, questioning if he's dreaming, trying to make sense of the situation. Realizing he's not dreaming, Ghislain is perplexed, while Ricardo watches him curiously. Ghislain sees his younger self and the estate in its original state, realizing something significant. He begins to understand the implications of his situation. Ghislain concludes that he has traveled back to the past. He reflects on how his younger self resented the household. His immaturity and feelings of inferiority led to trouble, causing others to avoid him. Unable to handle criticism, he ran away from home. Several years later, he recounts his journey. Ghislain became a mercenary, surviving battles and building his reputation. He returned to Perdium to make amends, only to find his household destroyed. Ghislain laments the loss of everything he once had. Ghislain realizes that everything he thought was lost is still present. He looks at the Perdium flag, feeling a sense of hope and determination. Ghislain is relieved that all his loved ones are still alive. Overwhelmed with emotion, he feels like singing in joy, but knows it's too soon to celebrate. He reminds himself that it's too early to rejoice, as challenges lie ahead. Ghislain recalls the plan to raid the orcs, a pivotal moment in his past. He remembers that this day is crucial. This is the day when most of the raid squad will perish, a memory that haunts him. In his past life, Ghislain joined the orc raid to prove himself, underestimating the danger. The report had underestimated the orc numbers, leading to a deadly surprise. Ghislain reflects on his past stubbornness, which led to the squad's downfall. He believes the orcs lack strategy, but worries if his squad will trust him. Ghislain looks determined, ready to face the upcoming challenge. He prepares for action, showing his resolve to change the past. The soldiers panic as they spot the orcs approaching. The orcs charge fiercely, creating chaos among the troops. Ghislain is surprised by the orcs' early arrival, questioning if it happened in his past life. The orcs attack with overwhelming force, intensifying the battle. A command is given to get into formation, urging the troops to organize. Skovan, the raid squad commander, rallies the troops to maintain defense and not panic. An orc attacks, sending soldiers flying with a powerful swing. Skovan realizes they were ambushed and outnumbered, fearing for their lives. A soldier urgently calls out to Skovan, alerting him to danger. An orc looms behind Skovan, ready to strike. A massive impact occurs, indicating a fierce clash. Ghislain reaches out to Skovan, trying to protect him. Ghislain pulls Skovan away from the orc's attack, showing quick reflexes. Skovan is shocked by Ghislain's intervention. Skovan is surprised, questioning Ghislain's actions. An orc grips its weapon tightly, ready to continue the fight. Ghislain strikes the orc, severing its arm with precision. Skovan is shocked by Ghislain's unexpected strength and skill. The soldiers are equally astonished by Ghislain's actions. The orc roars in pain and surprise as it is wounded. Ghislain stands firm, having successfully attacked the orc. He laments his inability to use mana, wishing he had returned to the past sooner. Ghislain addresses Skovan, confirming his role as commander. He demands something from Skovan with authority. Skovan is confused by Ghislain's request. Ghislain asserts his demand for the commander rights, taking charge of the situation. Ghislain confidently demands the right to command the raid, standing firm in front of Skovan. Skovan is taken aback by Ghislain's request, questioning the wisdom of letting him lead when lives are at stake. Skovan refuses Ghislain's request, leaving Ghislain surprised and frustrated. Skovan insists that he cannot relinquish his authority, even to the young master, as it was given by the Lord. Ghislain finds the situation annoying, but understands Skovan's perspective, admitting he might react similarly. A massive orc charges at Ghislain and Skovan, escalating the tension on the battlefield. Skovan orders Ghislain to fall back, asserting that Ghislain is too inexperienced to lead the troops. Ghislain, realizing he has no choice, prepares to take action despite the circumstances. Ghislain swiftly moves into action, demonstrating his combat skills against the orc. Skovan angrily confronts Ghislain, questioning his actions in the heat of battle. Skovan is shocked and sweating, clearly overwhelmed by the situation. Skovan looks confused and surprised, trying to process what's happening. A sword pierces the orc's head, showcasing a critical strike. The orc lets out a final cry as it succumbs to the attack. The orc falls, defeated, with the sword embedded in its head. Skovan is astonished by Ghislain's precision, questioning how he hit the orc's weak spot. Ghislain asks Skovan if he knows the most important thing in battle, hinting at a lesson. The troops are shown in fear as more orcs approach, creating a tense atmosphere. A statement emphasizes that fear among troops leads to hopelessness in battle. Ghislain declares the need to gain momentum, determined to turn the tide of the battle. Ghislain charges forward, taking down an orc with a swift strike. Leaping into the air, Ghislain prepares to attack a group of orcs below. Ghislain lands a powerful blow on an orc, impressing those around him. Skovan is in disbelief, sweating as he watches Ghislain's prowess. Ghislain boldly challenges the orcs, ready for more combat. With determination, Ghislain declares his intent to defeat all the orcs. Surrounded by orcs, Ghislain stands his ground, ready to fight. Ghislain skillfully dodges and counters the orcs' attacks, showcasing his agility. Skovan is amazed, questioning if he's dreaming as he witnesses Ghislain's feats. Skovan reflects on his own limitations, wondering how Ghislain is managing to fight so effectively. Ghislain appears tired but determined, with Skovan observing him from behind. A dramatic pause suggests a turning point in the battle. Ghislain uses minimal movements to dodge the orc's attacks, showcasing his agility. He strikes at the orc's weak spots with precision, demonstrating his swordsmanship. The text compares Ghislain to a master swordsman, emphasizing his skill. Skovan is in awe, considering Ghislain's abilities to be even greater than expected. Ghislain taunts the orcs, claiming he's not even warmed up yet. He criticizes the orcs for not living up to their warrior reputation while dodging their attacks. Ricardo and another soldier notice all the orcs charging at Ghislain, questioning his actions. The soldiers call out to Skovan, seeking guidance as the battle intensifies. Skovan is puzzled and concerned about Ghislain's actions, questioning his strategy. Ghislain's tactic of drawing the orcs' attention is noted, but his current actions are questioned. The scene reveals that Ghislain is leading the orcs toward the edge of a cliff. Skovan realizes the significance of the cliff in Ghislain's plan. Skovan begins to understand Ghislain's strategy, expressing disbelief. Skovan orders the troops to raise a shield wall, preparing for the next phase of the plan. Skovan decides to follow Ghislain's lead, acknowledging his role as the first son. The orcs are seen pursuing Ghislain, unaware of the impending trap. Ghislain confidently addresses Skovan, hinting at his strategic plan. Ghislain admits his stamina limits him from taking down all the orcs himself, relying on his strategy instead. Ghislain believes the situation is manageable for Skovan and the troops. The orcs charge forward, unaware of the trap set for them. The orcs are surprised, realizing something is amiss. Skovan and the troops brace themselves behind a shield wall, ready for action. Ghislain smirks, satisfied with how the plan is unfolding. Ghislain leaps towards the cliff, leading the orcs into the trap. Ghislain signals the moment to execute the plan with a commanding "now." Skovan shouts to the troops, ready to execute the final move. Skovan orders the troops to push the orcs off the cliff, completing the strategy. The troops successfully push the orcs over the edge, securing their victory. Skovan and Ricardo shout in unison, rallying the troops with determination. The orcs are pushed off the cliff, falling helplessly into the abyss. The orcs plummet down the cliffside, unable to stop their descent. A dramatic impact as the orcs hit the ground below, sealing their fate. The soldiers celebrate their victory, relieved and proud of their success. Skovan calls out for Ghislain, concerned about his well-being. Ghislain is seen hanging onto the cliff's edge, gripping his sword for support. Ghislain looks determined and unfazed, ready to pull himself up. Scovan is speechless, processing the outcome of the battle. A close-up of Scovan's face, showing his deep reflection and realization. Scovan reaches out to Ghislain, offering his hand to help him up. Ghislain struggles to hold on, feeling unable to reach for help. Scovan urges Ghislain to hold on, determined to save him. Scovan looks shocked and worried as the situation unfolds. A voice calls out urgently for the young master, heightening the tension. A soft voice calls out Opa, indicating a personal connection. Elena's voice reaches out to Ghislain, creating an emotional moment. Ghislain is surprised to hear Elena, questioning if it's really her. Fragments of memories with Elena appear, showing their past interactions and emotions. Ghislain stands in a dark space, reaching out, possibly reflecting on his memories and resolve. Ghislain reflects on his memories of Elena, holding them close. A sudden call of Opa grabs Ghislain's attention, surprising him. Elena appears, urging Ghislain to go with her, showing her determination. Ghislain wakes up in bed, looking startled and confused. The scene shows Ghislain lying in bed, recovering from his ordeal. Ghislain realizes he's alive and acknowledges that he was saved. He questions whether the experience was a dream, feeling uncertain. Ghislain feels a sudden pain, reacting to the physical strain on his body. He acknowledges the pain as a consequence of pushing himself to the limit, but finds comfort in being alive. Belinda enters the room, addressing Ghislain as master, indicating her concern. Belinda is relieved to see Ghislain awake, expressing her concern. Ghislain is surprised to see Belinda, acknowledging her presence. Belinda scolds Ghislain for worrying her, suggesting he should have let the soldiers handle the orcs. Ghislain embraces Belinda, showing his gratitude and relief. Belinda is confused by the hug, asking if she did something wrong, but Ghislain reassures her. Ghislain reflects on Belinda's role as his personal tutor and her unwavering support. He recalls losing contact with Belinda after the family's downfall, expressing his surprise at seeing her again. Ghislain never expected to see Belinda again, highlighting the emotional reunion. Belinda questions why Ghislain is so happy, noting they see each other every day. Ghislain realizes he needs to tell Belinda the truth, indicating a significant decision. Ghislain urgently tells Belinda about an impending catastrophe in Perdium. He begins to reveal a significant truth to Belinda. Ghislain confesses that he died and came back to life, shocking Belinda. Belinda dismisses his claim, thinking he's exaggerating about the orc attack. Ghislain tries to clarify, but Belinda warns him of his own danger. Belinda scolds Ghislain, not believing his story, while he realizes this approach won't work. Belinda questions what Ghislain would do if he were too injured to attend the festival. Ghislain is reminded of the festival, which seems significant to him. Belinda reminds Ghislain that Elena has been looking forward to the festival with him. Belinda suggests the festival is a chance for Ghislain and Elena to reconnect, showing a photo of them together. Ghislain recalls the annual festival that occurs around this time. He looks at a photo, acknowledging the festival's significance. Ghislain reflects on his past life, where trauma prevented him from enjoying festivals. He asks Belinda how long until the festival, learning it's a week away. The word week resonates with Ghislain, hinting at its importance. He remembers the day that changed his life as someone approaches his room. The haunting memory continues to affect Ghislain deeply. Elena pleads with Ghislain to attend the festival with her, showing her desperation. A somber realization hits. In 1 week, Elena will die, intensifying Ghislain's resolve. Ghislain embraces Elena tightly, surprising her with his sudden affection. Elena looks confused and unsure about his unexpected behavior. Belinda, Ghislain's maid, watches the scene with a shocked expression, clearly taken aback by Ghislain's actions. Elena, still in Ghislain's arms, questions his intentions, asking what kind of prank he's pulling, clearly bewildered by his sudden change. Ghislain, with a soft expression, tells Elena that he missed her, showing his genuine feelings and desire to reconnect. Elena, feeling uncomfortable, pushes Ghislain away, exclaiming that he's creeping her out. Belinda tries to steady Ghislain as he stumbles back. Ghislain, catching his breath, is amazed by Elena's strength, wondering if she has always been this strong. Elena confronts Ghislain, questioning his motives and mentioning that Belinda asked her to be there. Ghislain seems confused by her accusations. Ghislain recalls his past harsh words to Elena, realizing he had told her to leave him alone because she was annoying. His past behavior was hurtful. Elena stands with a stern expression, reminding Ghislain of his previous words. Ghislain is shocked, questioning if he really said that. Ghislain reflects on his past life, admitting he wasn't close to Elena and was a terrible person. He apologizes, trying to make amends for his past mistakes. Belinda and Elena are surprised by Ghislain's apology. Elena wonders if he hit his head, while Belinda is shocked he apologized first. Ghislain insists he defeated the orcs, but Elena doubts him, implying he was unconscious. Belinda holds Elena protectively. Ghislain experiences a surge of energy, possibly from his mana training, as he looks determined and focused. Elena teases Ghislain about his claim of victory, reminding him he returned unconscious. Ghislain is on the floor, embarrassed. Belinda and Elena share a light-hearted moment, laughing together, showing their close bond and relief after the tense situation. Ghislain stands up, looking thoughtful and reflective, as he processes the recent events and his interactions with Elena. Ghislain smiles softly, realizing that everyone is just as he remembers them, feeling a sense of familiarity and comfort. Ghislain questions his past self, wondering why he wasted so much time on trivial matters, reflecting on his previous mistakes. Ghislain recalls rejecting Elena's offer to attend the festival together, using the raid squad's events as an excuse, feeling regretful. Ghislain remembers that the festival was the last time he saw Elena, her face filled with emotion, highlighting the urgency of his mission to change the future. The text reveals the tragic fate of Elena and her bodyguards, found shredded to pieces, highlighting the urgency of Ghislain's mission. Ghislain is filled with regret, lamenting that he should have been with Elena to prevent her tragic fate. Elena and Belinda approach Ghislain, who is sitting on the floor, and ask if they can come in, indicating a moment of reconciliation. Jamal and Philip, Elena's bodyguards, arrive and greet her, unaware of the tension surrounding their true intentions. Elena questions the bodyguards about their presence, as they were supposed to wait outside. They apologize, explaining they were asked to oversee festival supplies. Ghislain is puzzled about why Elena was asked to oversee the festival supplies, hinting at his suspicion of the situation. Belinda teases Ghislain about his lack of awareness, suggesting he lazes around too much to notice the shortage of workers. Ghislain reflects on his past indifference to such matters, realizing he never cared about these issues before, but now he wants to be involved. Ghislain offers to help with the preparations, showing his determination to change and be more proactive in protecting Elena. Elena looks surprised by Ghislain's offer to help, indicating her confusion and curiosity about his sudden change in behavior. Belinda and Elena are surprised by Ghislain's offer to help, questioning if he really got hit in the head due to his unexpected behavior. The scene shifts to a bustling marketplace, setting the stage for the upcoming festival preparations. Ghislain insists on helping, but others in the market are wary, telling him to stay away as his presence might scare people. Ghislain is frustrated, feeling unappreciated as he tries to help, but others suggest he stay out of trouble instead. Ghislain recalls that Elena's body was found far from the festival grounds, realizing someone must have lured her away. Determined to prevent the tragedy, Ghislain decides he needs to learn the castle's layout to protect Elena better. As Ghislain is pulled away by Elena, someone calls out to him, grabbing his attention. Ghislain is startled by a familiar face, recognizing it with a sense of urgency and surprise. Old Man Fergus appears, relieved to see Ghislain safe. Ghislain is grateful for Fergus's well-being. Fergus, showing his loyalty, explains he rushed to Ghislain's side after hearing about the orc attack. Ghislain tries to change the subject, feeling embarrassed. Elena jokingly asks Fergus to take Ghislain back to his room, noting his odd behavior. Ghislain is frustrated by the interruption. Ghislain, determined to change, decides he must understand the castle better in the coming week to protect Elena. Ghislain asks Fergus about an abandoned training field in the castle, expressing his desire to go there. With a serious expression, Ghislain declares his intention to train, showing his commitment to improving his skills. Fergus is surprised by Ghislain's determination to train, indicating his unexpected resolve. Fergus agrees to show Ghislain the way to the training area, setting the stage for Ghislain's preparation. Ghislain is surprised by something he sees, possibly the condition of the training area or its location. Ghislain is impressed by the training area's condition, finding it better than expected and suitable for his needs. Ghislain reflects on the training area's suitability, noting he never saw anything like it during his time as a mercenary. Fergus explains they maintained the facilities in case Ghislain wanted to use them, showing foresight and support for his training. Fergus expresses his belief that Ghislain's current behavior is just a phase, showing his concern and skepticism. Ghislain reflects on his past life, wondering if Fergus had similar thoughts back then, hinting at a deeper connection. Ghislain contemplates the events of his past, realizing the truth about what happened and feeling a sense of clarity. Ghislain tells Fergus he needs to live a long life, hinting at his past experiences with death, which confuses Fergus. Ghislain admits to Fergus that he died and was resurrected, but Fergus dismisses it as tomfoolery, not taking him seriously. Ghislain tells Fergus he can leave as he plans to start training. Fergus agrees to wait outside, showing his support. Ghislain reflects on his past behavior, acknowledging he treated everyone like enemies due to his short-sightedness. Ghislain admits his past mistakes, realizing he was short-sighted, and is now determined to change his perspective. Ghislain contemplates the upcoming week, understanding the importance of the time he has to prepare and change the future. Ghislain recalls that Elena's death was orchestrated by a lord from a neighboring territory, revealing a key piece of information. The text reveals that Perdium was caught in a war due to Elena's death, leading to its downfall. Elena's death marked the beginning of the house's decline, emphasizing its significance. The phrase "that means" suggests a realization or conclusion is about to be made. Ghislain resolves to set things straight, determined to change the course of events. Ghislain acknowledges he needs to improve his physique quickly, feeling the pressure of limited time. He focuses on controlling mana, understanding its importance in breaking through limits. Mana is described as a supernatural resource that helps humans exceed their limits. Ghislain recalls his ability to sense and absorb mana even in chaotic situations, highlighting his skill. He plans to connect mana particles in the air, a crucial step in his training. Ghislain intends to gather and control mana as if spinning a spool, illustrating his methodical approach. Ghislain, experienced in countless battles, finds creating a mana core easy, showcasing his confidence and skill. He reflects on his past achievements, noting that being one of the strongest required more than just creating mana cores. Ghislain recalls a method from a half-burned magic book that helped him enhance his abilities. He combines this method with the natural mana core of humans to amplify his power. Ghislain can create multiple mana cores, increasing his strength significantly. By connecting multiple cores, Ghislain aims to generate an explosive force, pushing his limits. The intense process takes a toll on Ghislain, causing him to cough up blood, indicating the physical strain. Ghislain realizes his current limit is 3 cores, though he reached 5 in his past life, showing his determination to improve. The method allows for a quick burst of power but requires a large amount of mana, highlighting its demanding nature. Ghislain recalls losing to Idun in his past life due to running out of mana, believing he could have won if it were a fair fight. Ghislain acknowledges the instability of his technique, but feels confident due to his youthful body and time to improve. Determined, Ghislain vows to defeat Idun this time, showing his resolve to change the future. Ghislain is filled with anger and determination to destroy those who conspired against his family, including House Delphine. The scene shifts to 1 week later, marking the day of the festival, a significant event in the storyline. Ghislain tightens his belt, preparing himself for the festival and the challenges ahead. He secures his equipment, indicating his readiness and determination to protect Elena. Ghislain walks through the festival with a serious expression, focused on his mission. Elena looks surprised, possibly by Ghislain's presence or demeanor, showing her curiosity and concern. Elena expresses surprise at Ghislain attending the festival, noting he usually avoids such events. Ghislain responds that he should attend occasionally. Elena comments on Ghislain's odd behavior, mentioning his intense training over the past week, highlighting his dedication. Ghislain defends his training, stating it's normal for someone in his position, while Elena is surprised by his newfound dedication. Elena teases Ghislain about his past complaints regarding their father, highlighting his previous impatience to become Lord. Elena expresses her contentment with the current situation, enjoying the changes in Ghislain's behavior. Elena observes that Ghislain seems to be returning to his old self, indicating a positive change in his demeanor. Ghislain looks thoughtful, reflecting on the changes he's undergone and the realizations he's had. Ghislain acknowledges a realization from the past week, indicating a shift in his perspective and understanding. Ghislain notes that his actions are beginning to change the future, as seen in the interactions with those around him. He reflects on the complexity of altering the future, comparing it to a chess game where small actions have significant impacts. Ghislain understands the importance of using his knowledge of the future wisely to influence events positively. Determined, Ghislain resolves to respond effectively to each situation, using his insights to navigate challenges. Ghislain feels ready, having completed his preparations for the festival and any challenges that may arise. Ghislain and Elena enjoy a moment at a food stall, sharing a light-hearted interaction with a vendor. Elena playfully pulls Ghislain along, showing their sibling bond and enjoying the festival atmosphere. Elena expresses her enjoyment of the festival, highlighting the fun they've had together. Elena finds the festival repetitive and wonders if there's anything new this year, seeking excitement. Ghislain notes that the festival is almost over without incident, pondering if his presence with Elena is the reason. Ghislain suggests exploring other areas of the festival, showing his willingness to keep Elena entertained and safe. A bodyguard suggests new events elsewhere, piquing Elena's interest and offering a change of scenery. Elena, excited by the prospect of new events, eagerly follows the bodyguard, while Ghislain watches attentively. Ghislain realizes the bodyguard's involvement, confirming his suspicions about their true intentions. Ghislain identifies Jamal and Philip as the traitors of their house, realizing they are the ones endangering Elena. Elena is joyfully lifted by her trusted bodyguards, Jamal and Philip. They have been her protectors since childhood, known for their loyalty and bravery. A text reveals a dark truth from the past. Jamal and Philip were believed to have been murdered while protecting Elena in a previous life. Ghislain, with a determined expression, realizes the betrayal. He mutters, "So it was you two," indicating his suspicion towards Jamal and Philip. Jamal and Philip, looking guilty and tense, are confronted by Ghislain, who accuses them of being the traitors of our house. Jamal enthusiastically announces their arrival at a location, leading Elena and Ghislain through a dimly lit street. The group arrives at a deserted area. The atmosphere is tense, with a sense of foreboding as they stand in the empty street. Elena questions the situation, finding it odd that there's nothing prepared for the supposed performance. Jamal awkwardly tries to cover up, saying they're not ready yet. Ghislain, skeptical, observes the surroundings. Elena expresses disbelief at the idea of a performance happening in such a place. Ghislain, with a knowing look, thinks to himself, as expected. He seems to have anticipated this setup. Ghislain reflects on the scene, noting that while it appears to be a simple deserted street, there's more to it than meets the eye. Ghislain notices obstacles strategically placed to block escape routes, confirming his suspicions of a trap. As Ghislain realizes the setup, Elena urges him to leave quickly, showing her trust in his instincts. Jamal tries to convince Elena to stay for the show, but she refuses, feeling uneasy about the situation. Elena questions Ghislain's strength as he pulls her away, surprised by his determination and power. Elena, frustrated, pushes back against Jamal, showing her defiance and suspicion. Philip, looking nervous and sinister, suggests waiting a bit longer, adding to the tension. Elena, confused and worried, calls out to Philip, sensing something is wrong. Elena confronts Jamal and Philip, questioning their strange behavior and feeling increasingly uneasy. Jamal, feigning innocence, apologizes to Elena, claiming he didn't mean to scare her. Jamal reveals his true intentions with a sinister smile, explaining that a reasonable request led to their betrayal. Elena is shocked and confused by Jamal's mention of a request, realizing the gravity of the situation. The group is approached by a mysterious figure, heightening the tension as they stand in the deserted street. Frank, the assassin, arrives with his men, exuding confidence and menace as they confront the group. Frank acknowledges the clean execution of the plan, indicating his satisfaction with the betrayal. Jamal confirms the deal with Frank, stating they've brought Elena as promised, ready to conclude their arrangement. Frank notices Ghislain and questions his presence, not having expected the eldest son of the Perdium family. Ghislain stands protectively beside Elena, both looking determined yet wary of the unfolding situation. Jamal, with a sinister grin, offers to hand over Ghislain, mocking his decision to follow them. Ghislain confronts Jamal, accusing him of betrayal and questioning his belief that he can escape the consequences. Jamal dismisses Ghislain's concerns, arrogantly suggesting they can simply run away to a distant place. Jamal explains his frustration with their impoverished land, feeling tormented and wanting to leave. Jamal justifies his actions, claiming others are also leaving Perdium, trying to rationalize his betrayal. Ghislain swiftly attacks Jamal, showcasing his combat skills and catching Jamal off guard. Jamal is shocked and injured, realizing he underestimated Ghislain's abilities. Elena and Philip are both surprised and alarmed by the sudden turn of events. Frank is taken aback, witnessing Ghislain's unexpected prowess in battle. Ghislain stands victorious over his fallen enemies, asserting that they never sold out their people. Ghislain, with a fierce determination, challenges the remaining foes, his eyes glowing with power. Philip, in disbelief, holds Elena hostage, frustrated by Jamal's failure against Ghislain. Philip meets a swift end as Ghislain's sword strikes, demonstrating Ghislain's resolve to protect Elena. Philip, in disbelief, utters "impossible" as he realizes the dire situation. Ghislain stands protectively with Elena, having defeated their enemies, his sword still glowing with power. Frank's men are shocked, questioning if Ghislain is truly the eldest son of Perdium, doubting his combat skills. Frank acknowledges Ghislain's unexpected strength, noting his ability to defeat two knights swiftly. The text highlights Ghislain's use of mana in his attacks, showcasing his hidden abilities. Elena, confused and scared, clings to Ghislain, asking him what's happening. Ghislain remains silent, contemplating the situation and what to do next. Elena calls out to Ghislain, her voice filled with concern and urgency. Ghislain gently tells Elena to take a little rest, ensuring her safety and comfort. Frank sarcastically thanks Ghislain for handling the situation, acknowledging his unexpected prowess. Frank acknowledges Ghislain's unexpected strength, admitting they plan to handle the traitors themselves. Frank questions if Ghislain has been hiding his true skills, intrigued by his abilities. Ghislain, unfazed, questions why his skills matter to Frank, ready to confront him. Ghislain assesses the situation, noting there are 3 opponents, with Frank being the most formidable. Frank's mana is intense, setting him apart from his companions as Ghislain prepares for a challenging fight. Ghislain resolves to end the confrontation quickly, focusing his energy and determination. Ghislain demands to know who requested the attack, while Frank dismisses the question, implying it doesn't matter. Ghislain expected Frank's refusal to reveal the mastermind, but remains undeterred. Ghislain confidently asserts that Frank will eventually reveal the truth, his resolve unwavering. Frank instructs his men to capture Ghislain alive, intending to torture him, showing his ruthless nature. Frank coldly explains his plan to make Ghislain suffer, revealing his cruel intentions. Frank's men charge at Ghislain, ready to follow through with their orders. Ghislain prepares himself, gripping a small object tightly, ready to act. Ghislain throws a firecracker, surprising his attackers and creating a diversion. One of Frank's men is caught off guard by the unexpected firecracker. The firecracker explodes, disorienting the attacker and giving Ghislain an opening. Ghislain takes advantage of the chaos, striking down one of his opponents with precision. Ghislain skillfully dodges and counters, dismissing the enemy's tactics as a shallow trick. Ghislain engages in a fierce sword fight, showcasing his agility and combat prowess. Ghislain's eyes are filled with determination and focus as he continues to fight. Ghislain skillfully parries an attack, demonstrating his superior swordsmanship. He swiftly dodges another strike, maintaining his focus and agility. Ghislain delivers a powerful counterattack, taking down another opponent with precision. He senses an incoming threat, his instincts sharp and alert. Frank attempts a sneak attack, but Ghislain narrowly evades it, showcasing his awareness. Ghislain quickly turns to face Frank, ready to defend himself against the surprise attack. Frank is surprised that Ghislain managed to block his perfect sneak attack, acknowledging his skill. Ghislain retaliates with a swift move, catching Frank off guard and pushing him back. The two engage in an intense duel, their swords clashing with fierce energy. Ghislain lands a decisive blow on Frank, marking a turning point in their battle. Frank's pipe falls to the ground, a sign of the intense battle and his momentary loss of composure. Ghislain focuses intensely, ready to deliver another powerful strike. The duel continues fiercely, with both Ghislain and Frank exchanging rapid blows. Frank, surprised by Ghislain's strength, admits that his mana saved him from being beheaded. Ghislain wonders how Frank survived the strike, suspecting he used mana to protect himself. Frank acknowledges Ghislain's unusual skill for his age, but remains confident in his own power. With a menacing grin, Frank declares his intent to kill Ghislain, the battle reaching its climax. Frank, the assassin, is surprised by the intensity of the battle. He acknowledges that his superior mana has saved him from a fatal blow. Frank is puzzled by Ghislain's unusual swordsmanship, which seems to defy his expectations. Confidently, Frank taunts Ghislain, claiming that his feeble mana won't be enough to defeat him. Frank, filled with determination, declares that Ghislain will die in this battle. Ghislain, unfazed, smiles as he prepares to counter Frank's attack with his own powerful strike. Frank is taken aback, noticing Ghislain's unexpected smile during the intense confrontation. The battle intensifies as Ghislain and Frank clash swords, each trying to gain the upper hand. Ghislain skillfully dodges Frank's attack, showcasing his agility and combat prowess. Both fighters momentarily distance themselves, preparing for the next round of their fierce duel. Frank, slightly battered, reminds Ghislain that his current level of mana won't be enough to win the fight. Frank is visibly injured, bloodied from the ongoing battle, yet still determined to fight. Frank coughs up blood, clearly affected by Ghislain's powerful attack, showing signs of weakening. Frank is in disbelief, questioning how Ghislain's attack could be so powerful, piercing through his defenses. Ghislain confronts Frank, revealing that he knows there's a deeper conspiracy behind Elena's death. Ghislain, surrounded by a powerful aura, accuses Frank of being involved, ready to unleash his full power. Ghislain unleashes his third core, dramatically increasing his mana and preparing for a decisive strike. Frank is shocked by the sudden surge in Ghislain's mana, questioning how he achieved such a boost. Ghislain leaps into the air, ready to deliver a powerful attack from above, showing his agility and strength. Frank is taken aback by Ghislain's incredible speed, struggling to keep up with his movements. Ghislain launches a series of rapid attacks, overwhelming Frank with his enhanced speed and power. Ghislain focuses intensely, preparing to deliver a decisive blow with his enhanced power. Ghislain's attack lands with precision, cutting through Frank's defenses with ease. Frank is in disbelief, struggling to block Ghislain's strikes as his hands grow numb. Frank reflects on the limitations of mana, realizing Ghislain's power is beyond normal limits. Frank is astounded by Ghislain's explosive increase in mana, something he's never encountered before. Frank observes Ghislain's transformation, noting how he seems like a completely different person. Ghislain's attack shatters Frank's defenses, showcasing his overwhelming strength. Frank is severely injured, bloodied from Ghislain's relentless assault. Ghislain, with fierce determination, continues his attack, aiming to end the battle decisively. Ghislain closes in on Frank, ready to deliver the final blow in their intense confrontation. Frank is in agony, letting out a pained scream as the battle takes its toll on him. Frank struggles, bloodied and battered, as he tries to withstand Ghislain's relentless assault. Ghislain, standing over Frank, suggests they finish their earlier conversation, indicating a shift in control. Ghislain demands to know who ordered the attack, pressing Frank for answers. Despite his injuries, Frank refuses to give up, determined to fight back. Frank, in desperation, vows to take Elena with him, showing his resolve to complete his mission. Frank attempts a final attack, aiming to strike Ghislain with a dagger. Ghislain's mana flares, intercepting Frank's attack with a burst of energy. Ghislain proposes a deal, offering Frank a chance to talk instead of continuing the fight. Ghislain warns Frank not to try anything foolish, demanding answers in exchange for sparing him. Frank is immobilized by mana threads, shocked at Ghislain's ability to trap him so effortlessly. Ghislain stands confidently, controlling the mana threads with precision, ready to end the confrontation. Ghislain taunts Frank, suggesting that someone of his skill should know how to heal himself. Ghislain warns Frank that destroying his mana core would render healing useless, showing his dominance. Frank is alarmed by the threat to his mana core, realizing the gravity of the situation. Ghislain moves in closer, his intent clear as he prepares to strike at Frank's core. Frank is in panic as Ghislain's attack disrupts his mana, causing a visible reaction. Frank's mana begins to scatter, leaving him vulnerable and powerless against Ghislain. Frank accuses Ghislain of recklessness, fearing a mana explosion that could destroy the area. Ghislain dismisses Frank's concerns, implying that such risks are only for the unskilled. Ghislain confidently asserts that he can manage the situation, showing his control over the battle. Frank realizes Ghislain is not bluffing, feeling the pressure of the situation as his body reacts. Frank is overwhelmed with fear, convinced that he will die if he doesn't act quickly. In desperation, Frank reveals that Count Desmond is behind the attack, hoping to save himself. Frank explains that Count Desmond wanted to start a war against the Perdium and Degard families. Ghislain processes the revelation, confirming that Desmond is indeed the mastermind. Ghislain reflects on his past life, realizing the depth of the conspiracy involving Duke Delphine. Ghislain confronts Frank about the motive to kill Elena, and Frank admits to it. Ghislain holds Frank firmly, demanding more answers and showing his determination. Frank is confused and panicked, realizing Ghislain's actions differ from what he expected. Ghislain confronts Frank about his fear, pointing out the irony of a killer being scared of death. Ghislain is surprised by Frank's laughter, indicating a shift in the tension. Frank taunts Ghislain, claiming that nothing will change even if he dies, as his plans are already in motion. Frank predicts the downfall of the Perdium family due to the impending war. Ghislain, unfazed, prepares to reveal something important to Frank. Ghislain reveals that he was reborn after dying, hinting at his unique perspective and determination. Ghislain declares that things will be different this time, showing his resolve to change the future. Frank screams in agony as Ghislain's power overwhelms him, marking the climax of their confrontation. A powerful energy beam shoots into the sky, signifying the end of the intense battle. A brilliant explosion of light fills the scene, symbolizing the conclusion of the conflict and Ghislain's victory. The aftermath of the battle shows Frank lying defeated on the ground, breathing heavily. Frank is shown in close-up, still gasping for air, indicating his weakened state. Ghislain stands resolute, his face marked with determination and the remnants of battle. Elena lies unconscious in the foreground, while Ghislain stands in the background, reflecting on the fight. Ghislain's sword is planted in the ground, symbolizing the end of the battle. Ghislain exhales deeply, a moment of relief and reflection after the intense confrontation. Suddenly, Ghislain is taken aback by a sharp pain, indicating a lingering effect from the battle. Ghislain collapses to the ground, overwhelmed by the strain of the fight. Ghislain laments his current weakness, recalling his past strength as the Mercenary King. Determined not to give up, Ghislain resolves to rise again, refusing to fall in defeat. Ghislain enters a room, discovering a scene of destruction and chaos. Reflecting on his past life, Ghislain recalls another body being found alongside Elena's. A mysterious figure stands before a crest, hinting at deeper connections and conspiracies. Ghislain identifies the body as the son of Degard, realizing the implications. He deduces that the son and his escort knight were framed for Elena's murder. Ghislain understands that revealing this truth could prevent the war from escalating. Determined to change the course of events, Ghislain decides to erase the evidence. Ghislain vows not to let the conspirators' plans succeed, showing his resolve. A cloaked figure watches from a distance, observing the unfolding events. The scene shows the figure retreating, leaving Ghislain to his mission. The scene opens with a mysterious figure admitting failure. The atmosphere is tense, hinting at a mission gone wrong. A group of cloaked figures sits around a table, questioning the failure. They express disbelief that their best, including Frank, couldn't handle a single girl. The cloaked figure stammers, trying to explain the situation. The pressure from the group is palpable. The figure reveals that Ghislain Perdium is the reason for their failure, suggesting his unexpected strength. The group is skeptical, dismissing Ghislain as a useless bastard of the North, doubting the excuse given. One member of the group accuses the cloaked figure of using Ghislain as a scapegoat, questioning his credibility. The cloaked figure insists that Ghislain was different from the rumors, showing genuine surprise at his abilities. The figure emphasizes that Ghislain seemed like a completely different person, adding to the mystery. Desperate, the cloaked figure pleads for another chance, arguing that they can still start a territorial war. The group erupts in frustration, criticizing the figure for failing to gather information and causing setbacks, denying the request for another chance. The group decides to eliminate the cloaked figure, showing their frustration and lack of tolerance for failure. A voice comments on the noise, indicating someone is observing the situation with disdain. The cloaked figure is seen in a dimly lit room, possibly contemplating their next move or facing their fate. A voice responds affirmatively, suggesting agreement or acknowledgement of a plan. A shadowy figure questions the cloaked one, asking what kind of chance they desire. The cloaked figure, desperate, declares their intent to eliminate Ghislain Perdium, showing determination. A voice questions how the cloaked figure plans to achieve this, demanding specifics. The cloaked figure reveals a plan to orchestrate a duel, hinting at having someone specific in mind. The group is curious about who the cloaked figure intends to involve in the duel. The cloaked figure names Cain Loges, describing him as a formidable swordsman known for his strength, setting the stage for a potential confrontation. The cloaked figure confidently claims that no one in the north can match Cain Loges' strength, emphasizing his prowess. The figure argues that since Cain is Ghislain's cousin, arranging a meeting between them will be easy, hinting at a plan. The group listens in silence, considering the cloaked figure's proposal, their expressions unreadable. A shadowy figure warns the cloaked one that failure will not be tolerated again, setting a high-stakes ultimatum. The ominous message is clear. There will be no next time if the cloaked figure fails, adding pressure to succeed. The cloaked figure vows not to disappoint, showing determination to carry out the plan successfully. The scene shifts to Perdium Castle's training hall, setting the stage for a new development in the story. Old Man Fergus approaches, addressing Ghislain and mentioning an approaching event, indicating urgency. A burst of energy fills the scene, suggesting a powerful display of mana or magic. Old Man Fergus is taken aback by the sudden surge of energy, his expression showing surprise and concern. A powerful energy wave is unleashed, showcasing a display of skill and control. A hand grips a sword tightly, indicating readiness and focus. Ghislain, satisfied with his training, remarks that his practice is complete. Ghislain notices something, his expression curious and attentive. Old Man Fergus approaches Ghislain, apologizing for interrupting his intense training session. Fergus, amazed, asks Ghislain how he performed the impressive feat just witnessed. Ghislain casually explains, holding a sword with a confident demeanor. He demonstrates the mana thread, a technique using mana like a string, revealing his unique skill. Ghislain reflects on his past life, explaining the challenges of using the technique with his current mana limitations. Despite the limitations, Ghislain is determined, showing that he can still use the mana thread effectively with less mana. Old Man Fergus is impressed by Ghislain's mana technique, admitting he's never seen anything like it despite his own training. Fergus reflects on Ghislain's rapid progress, wondering how he developed such a unique use of mana. Ghislain asks Fergus if he needed something, shifting the focus back to their conversation. Fergus reveals he stopped by to express his gratitude, catching Ghislain's attention. Fergus thanks Ghislain for protecting the young lady, showing appreciation for his bravery. Ghislain humbly responds, saying it was simply his duty, downplaying his actions. The scene lightens as someone suggests they go eat, indicating a break from the tension. Time passes, and the narrative shifts to a few days later, setting up the next events. The festival is paused due to the recent attack, with the market square shown empty and quiet. Elena expresses frustration that no one believes Ghislain saved her, highlighting her gratitude and the disbelief of others. Elena and Belinda discuss the disbelief surrounding Ghislain's heroics, with Elena feeling frustrated. Belinda expresses anger towards those who tried to harm Elena, showing her protective nature. A bold statement declares that Elena survived, emphasizing her resilience. Ghislain reflects on preventing a war, but acknowledges the persistent threat, showing his awareness of ongoing dangers. Determined, Ghislain realizes he can't face threats alone and needs to build a military force. Old Man Fergus enters the room, signaling a shift in the conversation or a new development. Ghislain contemplates the need to engage in politics to strengthen his position and build his forces. A simple meal is served, highlighting the modest circumstances they are in. Ghislain looks surprised, possibly at the simplicity of the meal or an unexpected thought. Ghislain questions Belinda about the meal, and she reminds him of their financial situation, indicating their struggles. A loud commotion erupts outside, startling Ghislain as he reacts to the noise. A merchant demands compensation for the festival's cancellation, his voice filled with anger. A crowd gathers, chanting for compensation, their frustration evident. The crowd accuses the castle of hoarding wealth, demanding they come out, while a guard tries to calm them. Ghislain, confused and concerned, steps out to see the chaos unfolding. Belinda, worried, admits she anticipated this reaction from the merchants. Belinda explains the county's reliance on festival profits, highlighting the merchants' plight. She acknowledges the merchants' anger, understanding their frustration over the festival's abrupt end. Ghislain realizes the severity of the county's financial situation, his expression serious. Ghislain contemplates the growing unrest, knowing he must act to prevent further aggression. Ghislain instructs Old Man Fergus to send soldiers to calm the crowd, showing his leadership. Fergus reveals they have no soldiers available, surprising Ghislain. Fergus explains that most soldiers are dispatched for reconstruction after an orc raid, leaving them short-handed. Ghislain is frustrated, realizing all the soldiers are occupied elsewhere. A map illustrates Perdium's constant threats from barbarians and monsters, highlighting their precarious situation. Ghislain reflects on the dire situation: no money, no soldiers, and a chaotic mess to handle. Ghislain pulls Belinda aside for a private conversation, indicating urgency. He asks Belinda about managing his finances, suggesting using funds to appease the merchants. Belinda reveals there are no funds available, adding to the crisis. Belinda reminds Ghislain that his allowance was cut off due to reckless spending, explaining the lack of money. Ghislain realizes he's completely broke, shocked by the lack of funds. He asks Belinda to lend him money, but she admits she has none either, leaving him frustrated. Sitting by the window, Ghislain contemplates their dire situation with no money or soldiers. He acknowledges that without money, even his knowledge of the future is useless, deciding he needs funds first. Determined, Ghislain rushes off, wondering if there's something on the estate that can help. Ricardo bursts in, urgently calling for Ghislain, indicating a new development. Ghislain, surprised by Ricardo's urgency, asks what's happening. Ricardo, panicked, informs Ghislain that Cain wants to see him, hinting at a problem. Ghislain is taken aback by the mention of Cain, indicating potential tension. Scoven appears injured and battered, suggesting a recent conflict or altercation. Scoven is brutally punched, the impact showing the intensity of the attack. A bloodied fist is shown, emphasizing the violence of the encounter. Scoven, in a desperate move, retaliates with a powerful punch. Despite his efforts, Scoven is severely injured, bloodied, and struggling. Ghislain stands over a fallen opponent, his presence commanding and intense. Scoven, battered and on the ground, weakly acknowledges Ghislain. Ghislain's expression is serious and focused, taking in the situation. Ghislain spots someone, his attention sharply drawn to them. A mysterious, imposing figure stands with a menacing aura, shrouded in darkness. Cain greets Ghislain with a sinister smile, setting the stage for a tense confrontation. Ghislain Perdium makes his entrance, ready to face the challenges ahead. Ghislain stands before a towering figure, showcasing the tension in the air. Cain Lodges greets Ghislain with a smirk, setting the stage for their confrontation. Ghislain remains silent and composed, acknowledging Cain's presence with a simple "ah." Cain, accompanied by a cloaked figure, recalls Ghislain's face, hinting at their shared history. The text reveals Cain as the heir of Logis County, highlighting the alliance between their families. Cain Logis is introduced formally, emphasizing his significant role in the unfolding events. A flashback reveals that Cain was once Ghislain's only friend, adding complexity to their relationship. The narrative shifts, showing Cain as both a friend and an enemy to Ghislain, deepening the conflict. Ghislain stands over a defeated Scoven as Cain approaches, signaling the impending showdown. Ghislain asks Ricardo about the situation, and Ricardo hesitantly begins to explain. Ricardo reports a disturbance at the tavern, indicating the seriousness of the situation. Ricardo describes finding Kane with his escort knight, who questioned rumors about Ghislain. Commander Scoven explains the rumors to Kane, adding tension to the encounter. A man is grabbed by the face, showing the intensity of the confrontation. Kane accuses the man of lying to the heir of Loges, asserting his authority. Ricardo concludes his explanation, looking troubled by the events. Kane confronts Ghislain and Ricardo, demanding the truth about the rumors. A beaten man is shown, with Kane claiming he was just trying to knock some sense into him. Kane blames the man for lying, suggesting the situation could have been avoided. Ghislain remains silent, reflecting on the situation with a determined look. He recalls how Kane always treated him as a subordinate, highlighting past grievances. Ghislain remembers the chaos Kane caused during his visits, feeling powerless to stop it. Despite Kane's actions, no one ever looked down on him, adding to Ghislain's frustration. Ghislain contrasts his own inferiority complex with Kane's praised confidence. He acknowledges that his own perceived weaknesses led to more criticism. Kane stands silently, observing Ghislain, the tension between them palpable. Kane is surprised by Ghislain's calmness, noting that he usually reacts to provocation. A flashback begins, taking us to Loges County some time ago. Kane is shocked by a suggestion to kill Ghislain, revealing a sinister plot. A cloaked figure promises support for the Loges family if Kane succeeds in his task. Kane expresses doubt about eliminating Ghislain, acknowledging his status as an heir. The cloaked figure suggests luring Ghislain into a duel to make it look like an accident. The cloaked figure emphasizes the opportunity, urging Kane to seize it. Kane reflects on the grim task of having to kill his own cousin, Ghislain. Kane, with a determined look, decides to proceed with the plan immediately. Kane wonders if the plan to eliminate Ghislain is due to a change in him. Kane contemplates the situation, hinting at a decision being made. Back in the present, Ghislain is questioned about his actions, looking confused. Kane demands Ghislain to bring something prepared for him, adding to the tension. Kane suggests livening up the mood, reminiscing about past festivities with Ghislain. Kane questions Ghislain, calling him buddy and expecting agreement. Ghislain stands silently, processing Kane's words. Ghislain realizes what Kane is referring to, questioning him about that. Ghislain recalls how Kane always demanded alcohol and women during his visits. Ghislain reflects on how he complied with Kane's demands to avoid conflict, but not anymore. A flashback shows someone reminding Ghislain about financial support being cut off due to wasteful spending. Ghislain appears thoughtful, considering the implications of the past. Ghislain has a moment of realization, understanding where his financial solution lies. He identifies his source of money, hinting at a plan to regain financial stability. Ghislain is called out, drawing his attention to the situation. Kane demands Ghislain to bring what he remembers, showing impatience. Kane agrees to bring the items, but Ghislain interrupts with a reminder of a debt. Ghislain confidently asks Kane about repaying a debt, catching him off guard. The cloaked figure looks puzzled by the conversation. Kane questions the debt, and Ghislain explains the expenses he covered. Kane is shocked by the amount Ghislain claims, arguing it shouldn't have cost that much. Kane tries to justify the expenses as a friendship fee, downplaying the debt. Ghislain retorts, expressing frustration at being treated like a doormat. Ghislain demands repayment, threatening Kane and revealing his urgent need for money. The tension in the room rises as onlookers watch the confrontation unfold. Ricardo is shocked by Ghislain's bold words, questioning his intentions. A foot stomps down, signaling a shift in the atmosphere. Kane accuses Ghislain of acting bold due to leniency, challenging his newfound confidence. Kane belittles Ghislain, accusing him of spreading false rumors and being a parasite. Kane's anger is evident as he clenches his fist, criticizing Ghislain's reputation. Kane throws a punch at Ghislain, telling him to get himself together. Ghislain stands firm, seemingly unfazed by Kane's aggression. Ghislain dodges Kane's punch with ease, surprising everyone. Ricardo and the cloaked figure react with shock at Ghislain's unexpected move. Kane, enraged, launches a powerful attack at Ghislain. Ghislain counters with a swift move, catching Kane off guard. Kane is shocked by Ghislain's unexpected strength. Ghislain delivers a decisive blow, stunning Kane. Kane grins through the pain, trying to maintain his composure. Ghislain stands ready, showing determination and focus. Kane is knocked back, causing a commotion among the onlookers. The cloaked figure rushes to Kane's side, concerned for his well-being. Ghislain confidently tells Kane to get up, knowing he blocked the attack. The cloaked figure warns Ghislain to stand back, questioning his actions. The onlookers are shocked, questioning if Ghislain really defeated Kane. Ghislain smirks, acknowledging the situation with a simple aha. He contemplates the unfolding events, ready to respond to the challenge. Kane and the cloaked figure discuss their plan, with Kane asking about his performance. The cloaked figure praises Kane's acting, saying it sets the stage for a justified duel. Kane sees this as a rare opportunity to gain powerful backing and make an impression. A flashback reminds Kane of the promise of support if he succeeds in his task. Kane sees this as the perfect time to cut off Perdium, viewing it as a declining power. Kane accuses Ghislain of tarnishing nobility and challenges him to a duel. Kane is suddenly struck, interrupting his challenge, adding to the chaos. Ghislain boldly challenges Kane Loges to a duel, asserting his stance. Kane is taken aback by Ghislain's unexpected challenge. Ghislain accuses Kane of insulting him and tarnishing nobility, justifying the duel. Ricardo reacts with surprise, witnessing the escalating situation. Ghislain questions Kane, daring him to deny the accusations. Kane stands silently, contemplating his next move with the cloaked figure behind him. Kane mocks Ghislain, calling him foolish for challenging him. Kane accepts the duel, gripping his weapon with determination. Kane warns Ghislain not to regret the duel, even if it leads to death. Ghislain calls out to Ricardo, who responds promptly, ready to assist. Ghislain instructs Ricardo to gather the protesting merchants in front of the castle. Ghislain promises the merchants a profitable opportunity, hinting at his strategic plans. The festival was suddenly cancelled, leaving everyone disappointed. The atmosphere, once lively, cooled down as tourists couldn't spend their money or time. People were left with unspent money, feeling frustrated because the festival's cancellation meant no outlet for their plans. Ghislain Perdium, pondering the situation, sees an opportunity to host an event to reclaim the crowd's interest and ease their frustrations. Ghislain walks confidently into the center of attention, ready to take on the challenge he's devised to entertain the restless crowd. A duel is announced between young Master Kane and Ghislain, drawing excitement from the crowd. Bets begin to heavily favor Kane as anticipation builds. Excited shouts fill the air as people rush to place their bets, sensing an easy victory for Kane in the upcoming duel. Street vendors seize the moment to sell their goods in the bustling atmosphere, enticing passersby to buy one and get one free. Vendors continue to attract attention amid the excitement, beckoning the crowd with their offers to browse their merchandise. A loud call for bets on the duel echoes through the crowd, urging people to place their money and line up quickly for the event. Everyone seems confident, with coins being tossed and bets placed on young Master Kane, seen as the safest bet amid all the excitement. The duel begins with a dramatic clash as a sword strikes the ground, signaling the intensity of the upcoming battle. Kane Loges expresses his disdain, accusing the crowd of turning the sacred duel into a mere spectacle. Kane warns Ghislain, making it clear that his sword will not stop, even if Ghislain surrenders, showing his aggressive intent. Ghislain remains calm and composed, acknowledging Kane's threat with a simple right, ready to face the challenge. Kane, with a sinister smile, suggests that Ghislain's actions are part of a larger plan, hinting at underlying motives. Ghislain, confident and collected, announces the start of the duel, noting the gathered crowd's anticipation. The crowd reacts with surprise as Ghislain stands ready, his presence commanding attention and curiosity. A hooded figure comments on the betting situation, doubting the fairness and potential outcome of the bets. Two onlookers express confusion, reacting to the unexpected turn of events and the hooded figure's statement. A man nervously admits that no one bet on Ghislain, highlighting the crowd's overwhelming confidence in Kane's victory. Ghislain remains silent, focused and determined as the duel is about to commence. The crowd is dismissive of Ghislain's chances, believing the outcome is obvious and heavily favoring Kane. Kane taunts Ghislain, mocking him by saying even the marketplace is ignoring him, trying to undermine his confidence. A suggestion arises to change the bet to how long Ghislain can endure against Cain, reflecting the crowd's doubt in his abilities. A large bag of money is placed as a bet, showing the high stakes and confidence in Cain's victory. Scovin, despite his injuries, decides to bet on Duke Ghislain, showing his belief in Ghislain's potential. Ghislain smirks slightly, unfazed by the crowd's doubt, ready to prove himself in the duel. Another large bet is placed, indicating the intense interest and high stakes surrounding the duel. Ghislain Perdium and Belinda express their support for Ghislain, deciding to bet on him, showing family loyalty and confidence. Ricardo and another character look on with surprise and concern, reacting to the unexpected support for Ghislain. Ghislain is surprised by the unexpected support from his sister and maid, showing a rare moment of vulnerability. A bystander is shocked to hear Lady Elena's name, indicating her presence and influence in the crowd. Elena and Belinda confidently place their bet on Ghislain, despite previous advice against it, showing their unwavering support. A hooded figure turns away, possibly reconsidering their stance or observing the unfolding events with interest. Cain expresses frustration at the delay, eager to start the duel and prove his superiority. The call to get ready signals the imminent start of the duel, heightening the tension in the arena. Cain taunts Ghislain, suggesting it would be improper for him, as the elder, to make the first move, trying to provoke him. Ghislain grips his sword with determination, preparing to engage in the duel with confidence. Ghislain raises his sword, signaling his readiness to face Cain, showing his resolve and focus. Ghislain stands poised and ready, exuding confidence and determination as he prepares to face Cain in the duel. Ghislain, with a determined look, invites Cain to attack, showing his readiness and confidence. Cain remains silent, his expression unreadable, as he prepares to engage in the duel. Ghislain taunts Cain, suggesting it's too late for him to act superior, challenging his arrogance. The duel officially begins with a loud declaration, heightening the tension and excitement. Cain makes a powerful move, striking the ground with force, showcasing his aggressive approach. Cain launches a fierce attack from above, aiming directly at Ghislain with intense energy. Ghislain narrowly avoids a direct hit, demonstrating his agility and quick reflexes in the face of Cain's assault. Cain taunts Ghislain, accusing him of stooping too low to recover his dignity, trying to undermine his resolve. The duel intensifies as Cain swings his weapon with force, while Ghislain skillfully dodges, maintaining his composure. Ghislain evades another powerful strike from Cain, showcasing his strategic movement and focus in the heat of battle. Cain swings his sword with force, aiming to overpower Ghislain with his aggressive attack. Cain's powerful strike hits the ground, showcasing his strength and determination to defeat Ghislain. The crowd cheers for Cain, confident that Ghislain won't withstand even a single hit from him. Cain smirks confidently, believing in his imminent victory over Ghislain. Ghislain observes Cain, acknowledging his opponent's confidence and preparing his next move. Elena and others express concern, feeling the urgency to intervene as the duel intensifies. A hooded figure comments that it's too late to stop the duel, suggesting that anyone who faces Cain is already trapped. The narrative explains that opponents become overwhelmed by Cain's power, focusing solely on evasion. The text foreshadows that an exhausted opponent will eventually leave an opening and meet their end against Cain. It is revealed that Cain has always won by exhausting his opponents, using his relentless attacks to secure victory. Cain acknowledges Ghislain's improved skills, calling him slippery and noting his growth since their last encounter. Cain prepares for another attack, commenting that Ghislain's evasive maneuvers make sense given his past. Cain taunts Ghislain, reminding him of his tendency to run away, as he launches another aggressive strike. Cain swings his sword with force, determined to overpower Ghislain with his relentless attacks. Ghislain skillfully dodges Cain's attack, maintaining his focus and agility in the face of danger. Cain's powerful strike sends Ghislain flying into the air, showcasing the intensity of the duel. Ricardo and others react with shock and concern as Ghislain is thrown into the air by Cain's attack. A hooded figure declares that it's over for Ghislain, confident in Cain's victory. Ghislain is seen falling, with the word "die" emphasizing the perilous situation he faces. Ghislain looks down at the arena from above, contemplating his next move as he descends back into the fight. Ghislain, upside down, declares he wanted to go easy on Kane but feels the line has been crossed. Ghislain charges at Kane with determination, ready to retaliate with newfound resolve. Kane is shocked as Ghislain's unexpected move catches him off guard, leaving him vulnerable. Ghislain skillfully dodges Kane's attack, demonstrating his agility and strategic prowess. Kane's expression shows surprise and concern as he realizes Ghislain's capabilities. A hooded figure observes that Ghislain stabilized himself by condensing mana into his legs, impressed by his technique. Ghislain takes a deep breath, focusing his energy and preparing for the next phase of the duel. Ghislain criticizes Kane's overconfidence, pointing out his ignorant swordsmanship and lack of true strength. Ghislain confidently offers to enlighten Kane, suggesting he will reveal the true nature of strength. Kane's face shows shock and disbelief as he begins to understand the depth of Ghislain's abilities. Kane challenges Ghislain, questioning how he plans to prove his point, readying his weapon for another attack. Ghislain swiftly moves, his footwork precise as he prepares to counter Kane's aggression. Ghislain dodges Kane's attack with agility, positioning himself for a strategic counter. Ghislain executes a skillful maneuver, flipping over Kane to gain the upper hand. In a rapid sequence, Ghislain delivers multiple strikes, overwhelming Kane with his speed and precision. Kane cries out in pain as Ghislain's attack lands, showcasing the effectiveness of Ghislain's strategy. Ghislain continues his relentless assault, maintaining pressure on Kane with a powerful kick. Ghislain lands a decisive blow, demonstrating his superior technique and control in the duel. With intense focus, Ghislain channels his energy into his weapon, preparing for a final strike. Ghislain stands victorious over Kane, his stance confident and composed, having proven his strength and skill. Ghislain looks composed and confident, having demonstrated his superior skills in the duel. Kane is on his knees, visibly wounded and defeated, acknowledging Ghislain's unexpected prowess. The crowd reacts with shock and awe, realizing the extent of Ghislain's improvement and skill. Spectators express disbelief at Ghislain's performance, questioning if he might actually win the duel. Elena and Belinda are relieved and proud, with Elena confidently saying, "See," to those who doubted Ghislain. An older man closes his eyes, possibly in respect or acknowledgement of Ghislain's victory. A hooded figure is intensely focused, perhaps re-evaluating their perception of Ghislain's abilities. Kane realizes the wound is shallow, questioning if Ghislain deliberately held back, showcasing his control. Kane is bewildered by Ghislain's level of swordsmanship, unable to comprehend how he was outmatched. Ghislain stands tall and victorious, his presence commanding respect and admiration from those around him. Ghislain remains calm and composed, reflecting on his victory with a quiet confidence. He tosses his sword aside, surprising Kane and the onlookers with his unexpected move. Ghislain comments on the gap in skill, suggesting it doesn't provide enough entertainment as his sword lands on the ground. He boldly declares that he will continue the fight barehanded, showcasing his confidence and skill. Kane is shocked and incredulous at Ghislain's decision to fight without a weapon. Ghislain stands over Kane, stating he intends to use this opportunity to educate him. With determination, Ghislain announces he will teach Kane a lesson using only his bare knuckles, emphasizing his mastery and control. Ghislain confidently challenges Kane to a bare-handed duel, surprising everyone by discarding his weapon. He believes Kane is no match for him in swordsmanship and offers a handicap. Raising the stakes, Ghislain bets an additional 2,000 gold on his victory, doubling the initial amount, showcasing his confidence. The crowd is shocked by Ghislain's boldness. They murmur about the unexpected turn of events, questioning the high stakes and the bare-handed fight. A hooded figure watches the scene unfold, clearly concerned about the unexpected challenge and the implications of the duel. The hooded figure reflects on Ghislain's audacity, considering it insanity but also a potential advantage, believing fortune might still favor them. The announcer calls for additional bets, declaring the event as a bare-handed fight between young Lord Ghislain and Master Kane, stirring excitement among the spectators. The arena is set for the duel. Some spectators express doubt about Ghislain's decision to challenge Kane in sheer force, while others are intrigued by the bold move. Ghislain stands confidently, with some spectators deciding to bet on him, impressed by his determination and self-assured demeanor. Cain laughs at the idea of a bare-handed fight, finding it amusing and underestimating Ghislain's decision to fight without a weapon. Cain grips his sword tightly, mocking Ghislain's choice to fight unarmed, ready to prove his superiority in the duel. Cain, with a powerful swing, launches an attack, but Ghislain remains composed and ready to counter. Cain declares his intention to use the sword, showcasing his strength and determination to win at any cost. Belinda, watching the duel, is frustrated and urges Ghislain to pick up his sword to even the odds against Cain. Cain fiercely swings his sword in an attempt to overpower Ghislain, showing his aggressive fighting style. Ghislain remains calm, realizing he needs to teach Cain a lesson, determined to prove his point. Cain attacks with his sword, but Ghislain skillfully dodges, showcasing his agility and strategic thinking. Ghislain continues to evade Cain's powerful strikes, using his speed to outmaneuver his cousin. Ghislain's quick footwork allows him to maintain a safe distance, preparing for his next move. In a swift motion, Ghislain dodges another attack, positioning himself for a counterstrike. Ghislain lands a powerful blow on Cain, demonstrating his superior skills and turning the tide of the duel in his favor. Ghislain, with fierce determination, prepares to deliver a decisive punch, focusing intently on his target. Ghislain's punch lands with incredible force, sending shockwaves through Cain's body, showcasing his strength. Cain is visibly shaken by the impact, blood spraying as he struggles to maintain his composure. Cain falls to his knees, clearly affected by Ghislain's powerful attack, struggling to recover. The crowd is in disbelief, reacting to the unexpected turn of events as Ghislain gains the upper hand. Cain is bewildered by Ghislain's agility and strength, questioning how he can move so swiftly and powerfully. Spectators are impressed by Ghislain's performance, realizing he might actually win the duel against Cain. Ghislain stands confidently, urging Cain to get up, indicating that he hasn't even begun to show his full potential. Cain, frustrated and angry, reacts to Ghislain's taunt, feeling the pressure of the duel. Cain, determined to fight back, charges at Ghislain with his sword, trying to regain control of the duel. Ghislain skillfully dodges Cain's sword attack, demonstrating his superior reflexes and combat skills. Ghislain taunts Cain, pointing out his newfound confidence and ability to face him directly. Ghislain recalls how Cain used to bow down to him, highlighting the shift in their power dynamic. The intense struggle continues as Ghislain and Cain clash, each trying to overpower the other. Cain, desperate to secure his family's future, feels the pressure to defeat Ghislain. A flurry of punches from Ghislain overwhelms Cain, showcasing Ghislain's relentless fighting spirit. Cain, battered and exhausted, questions why he is unable to defeat Ghislain despite his efforts. Ghislain firmly holds Cain down, asserting his dominance in the duel. Ghislain expresses pity for Cain's father, hinting at a deeper connection and past between their families. Ghislain reveals that Count Loges once helped his family, Perdium, out of friendship with his father, adding complexity to their rivalry. Ghislain reflects on how Cain's father had noble intentions, but Cain had different plans in mind. Cain, bruised and battered, shows signs of anger and frustration, struggling with his defeat. A flashback reveals a conversation from a few years ago discussing the continued support for the Perdium family. Voices express concern over the resources being sent to Perdium, questioning the wisdom of investing in a struggling land. The urgency of the situation is highlighted, with someone questioning the decision to return to help Perdium so soon. A tense moment between Cain and his father is shown, indicating a strained relationship and differing views. Cain's father appears resolute despite the tension, showing his determination to help Perdium. Cain pleads with his father not to go, revealing his desperation and concern for their family's well-being. Cain questions his father's insistence on helping Perdium, frustrated by the lack of support from others. Cain's father remains silent, contemplating his decision, showing the weight of his responsibilities. The reason for the support is revealed to be simple friendship, highlighting the bond between the families. Cain lies defeated, his face bruised and bloodied, reflecting the intensity of the duel. The motivation behind the support is reiterated. There's no other reason than friendship. Ghislain prepares to deliver another powerful punch, emphasizing his dominance in the fight. Cain braces for impact, overwhelmed by the force of Ghislain's attack. Ghislain suggests that the fight should have taught Cain a valuable lesson, asserting his victory. Cain, surprised and defeated, processes the outcome of the duel, his eyes wide with realization. Ghislain extends a hand to Cain, telling him to get up, offering a gesture of sportsmanship and respect. Cain looks up at Ghislain's outstretched hand, contemplating the offer of help after their intense battle. Cain bows his head, acknowledging the outcome and perhaps accepting the lesson learned from the duel. Cain admits his defeat to Ghislain, acknowledging the outcome of their intense duel. The crowd reacts with a mix of surprise and excitement, while a hooded figure looks on with concern. The announcement of Ghislain's victory echoes, confirming his triumph in the duel. Spectators express disbelief and excitement over the unexpected outcome, with some celebrating their winning bets. Elena and Belinda, along with others, cheer for Ghislain's victory, proud of his accomplishment. The hooded figure reacts angrily, frustrated by Cain's defeat and the loss of their expectations. The hooded figure confronts Cain, questioning his decision to admit defeat and expressing disappointment. Cain, exhausted and resigned, tells the hooded figure to let go, accepting his loss. The hooded figure is furious, blaming Cain for being weak and failing to meet expectations. Ghislain approaches the hooded figure, ready to address the situation, as the figure turns in surprise. Ghislain smiles confidently, stating he has to do what he must, showing his determination. The hooded figure is taken aback, confused by Ghislain's calm demeanor and unexpected actions. Ghislain announces to the crowd that the hooded figure will pay for a feast, surprising everyone. The hooded figure is shocked and angry at Ghislain's declaration, feeling cornered. The crowd is thrilled at the prospect of a feast, praising Ghislain for his generosity. The hooded figure protests, insisting they never agreed to such terms, feeling trapped by the situation. Ghislain firmly holds the hooded figure, asserting his control over the situation. Ghislain explains that the feast is the price for losing the duel, making it clear it's separate from the bet. Ghislain reminds the hooded figure to add the extra gold to the original bet, emphasizing his victory. Ghislain warns the hooded figure not to run, implying serious consequences if they try to escape. The hooded figure shows intense concentration, fully aware of the consequences Ghislain warned about. Defeated and resigned, the hooded figure acknowledges the situation, saying, "Understood." The scene shifts to a grand castle, setting the stage for the next phase of the story. It's the next day, and the setting is Ghislain's room in the castle, hinting at the transition from the duel. A box dramatically opens, revealing a treasure trove of gold inside Ghislain's room. Ghislain is surprised by the amount of gold, contemplating the opportunities it presents. He realizes he could hire a small mercenary corps with the gold, acknowledging it's a significant amount. Ghislain ponders the time it takes to grow wealth, feeling the urgency to act on his business ideas quickly. Elena and Belinda look fondly at Ghislain as he contemplates his newfound wealth and future plans. Ghislain notices their presence and asks, slightly concerned, "What is it?" as they seem to have news for him. Elena playfully asks Ghislain where he plans to spend all his money, curious about his intentions. Ghislain jokingly offers Elena some money, but she insists she's just asking out of curiosity. Belinda hints that it's obvious where Ghislain will use the money, teasing him with a knowing smile. Belinda reveals that Lady Amelia's birthday is soon, suggesting Ghislain wants to buy an expensive gift. Elena and Belinda tease Ghislain for being transparent, implying he's trying to impress his fiancée. A moment of silence follows as Ghislain processes the teasing and implications. Ghislain is shocked to learn he has a fiancée, expressing surprise and confusion at the revelation. Ghislain is shocked to discover he has a fiancée, expressing his surprise out loud. Belinda and Elena tease Ghislain about his fiancée, Amelia Rayfold, hinting at his embarrassment. Ghislain is deep in thought, processing the revelation about his fiancée. A dramatic depiction of a spider and web symbolizes Amelia Rayfold's complex and possibly dangerous nature. Amelia is described as a noble known for her kindness, but also as the Witch of the North, hinting at her darker side. The narrative reveals Amelia's betrayal, aligning with the Delphine Duchy against Perdium. A close-up of a mysterious smile suggests someone is plotting or amused by the situation. Ghislain asks Belinda about his father's return, indicating he is planning something. Ghislain decides that a week is enough time for his plans, showing determination. Ghislain announces his intention to visit Rayfold County, leaving Belinda curious about his motives. Ghislain reveals his plan to visit Rayfold County to get money from them, showing his strategic side. Amelia is seen gracefully kneeling, holding a pair of shoes, indicating her caring nature. Amelia instructs someone to wear the shoes, showing her authority and kindness. Amelia offers shoes to a poor child, surrounded by onlookers, highlighting her compassion. The child is surprised and grateful, addressing Amelia with respect and awe. Amelia declares that if anyone should walk barefoot, it should be her, showing her empathy. Amelia orders her guards to provide food and shelter, demonstrating her leadership and care. Supplies are being distributed to the people, causing amazement and gratitude among them. The crowd expresses their gratitude to Amelia, acknowledging her generosity and influence. In Amelia's garden at Rayfold County, she is seen with Bernaf, indicating a moment of planning or reflection. Bernaf praises Amelia for her efforts, acknowledging her leadership. Hands are shown washing, symbolizing care or cleansing after a task. Amelia reflects on her father's rule, noting his demand for obedience from the people. She observes that the common folk follow those who provide for them, petting a cat as a metaphor for care. Bernaf comments on Amelia's success in winning the people's hearts, which will aid her future ambitions. Amelia remains silent, contemplating the implications of her actions and plans. Amelia playfully pushes Bernaf's face, showing a moment of levity between them. Amelia questions Bernaf about a duel, hinting at his strategic choices in battle. Bernaf explains his decision to avoid drawing attention, showing his loyalty and strategic thinking. Bernaf advises Amelia that it's not yet time to reveal her true power, indicating patience in their plans. Bernaf pledges his loyalty to Amelia, stating that his blade is hers to command. Amelia acknowledges Bernaf's loyalty, mentioning her investment in his upbringing. Bernaf is shown in a moment of reflection, possibly considering Amelia's words. Amelia firmly tells Bernaf he cannot afford to be weak, emphasizing her expectations. Amelia inquires about the merchants, showing her involvement in strategic planning. Bernaf explains their strategy of using the merchant guild to gather resources discreetly. He details their recruitment of soldiers and knights, highlighting their growing power. Amelia instructs Bernaf to maintain their cover as a merchant guild until they are ready. A servant approaches Amelia and Bernaf, indicating an interruption or new development. The servant informs them of Ghislain's unexpected visit, creating a sense of urgency. Amelia questions why Ghislain would visit, showing her suspicion. The servant is nervous, indicating the tension of the situation. Bernaf relays that Ghislain wants to discuss the Merchant Guild, raising concerns. The scene shifts to the visitors' room, setting the stage for the meeting. Amelia and Ghislain face each other in the visitors' room, creating a tense atmosphere. Ghislain greets Amelia confidently, hinting at his intentions. Amelia's expression is stern, and her cat hisses, reflecting her displeasure. Amelia criticizes Ghislain for arriving unannounced, questioning his manners. Ghislain mentions Amelia's upcoming birthday, using it as a reason for his visit. He presents a flower from the Merchant Guild, subtly probing Amelia's connections. Ghislain mentions the Arctium Merchant Guild, probing Amelia's connections. Amelia's eyes show her intense focus and suspicion. Amelia feigns ignorance, questioning Ghislain's intentions. Amelia decides to leave, dismissing Ghislain's visit as she holds her cat. Ghislain firmly tells Amelia to sit down, asserting his authority. Amelia is visibly shocked by Ghislain's commanding presence. The pressure in the room is palpable, symbolized by a trembling cup. Amelia reflects on Ghislain's unexpected confidence, contrasting with his past demeanor. Ghislain bluntly asks Amelia for 10,000 gold, revealing his true motive. Amelia is taken aback by Ghislain's bold demand, questioning his audacity. Amelia questions Ghislain's motives, wondering if it's his father's will. Ghislain insists it's his own request. Ghislain implies Amelia has no intention of marrying him, adding tension to the conversation. Amelia's eyes narrow, showing her growing frustration and suspicion. Ghislain hints at Amelia's ambitions, suggesting her secret plans could be exposed. Amelia's cat reacts aggressively, reflecting the rising tension in the room. Ghislain remains calm despite the cat's reaction, maintaining his composure. Amelia warns Ghislain not to joke about serious matters, showing her seriousness. Ghislain threatens to reveal Amelia's secrets unless he gets what he wants, while Amelia remains defiant. Amelia calls for Bernaf, indicating she's ready to take action. Bernaf enters the room, prepared to confront the situation, adding to the tension. Bernaf greets Ghislain, acknowledging their past acquaintance. Ghislain reflects on Bernaf's loyalty to Amelia, recognizing his strength. Bernaf is described as a formidable warrior, comparable to the finest swordsman. Ghislain warns that his death could spark a war, questioning if they are prepared for the consequences. Amelia coldly outlines a cover story for Ghislain's potential demise, showing her ruthlessness. Amelia orders Bernaf to kill Ghislain, demonstrating her resolve. Bernaf draws his sword, ready to follow Amelia's command without hesitation. Ghislain accepts the challenge, preparing to defend himself against Bernaf. Ghislain decides to get serious, indicating he's ready to confront the threat head-on. Ghislain and Bernaf face off in a tense standoff, swords drawn and ready for battle. The atmosphere is charged as they prepare to engage in combat. A close-up of Bernaf's face shows a confident smirk, indicating his readiness and perhaps underestimation of Ghislain. Ghislain's eyes widen in surprise, possibly reacting to Bernaf's unexpected move or a sudden realization. Ghislain sits on a couch, sword in hand, looking determined and ready to face the challenge ahead. An assassin suddenly appears, launching an attack towards Ghislain, catching him off guard. The assassin's attack lands with a powerful impact, creating a burst of energy and chaos. Ghislain is thrown off balance, tumbling backward as the assassin's attack sends him flying. In a dramatic turn, Ghislain counters the attack, using his agility to regain control and strike back. Ghislain launches a powerful counterattack, sending the assassin flying across the room with a burst of energy. Bernaf and Amelia watch in shock as Ghislain demonstrates his unexpected combat prowess, leaving them both surprised by his abilities. Ghislain comments on the assassin's tactics, noting the feigned politeness before the surprise attack, showing his awareness and readiness. Bernaf criticizes the lack of hospitality as he and Ghislain engage in a fierce sword fight, each testing the other's skills. The battle intensifies as Ghislain and Bernaf clash swords, their movements swift and powerful. Ghislain questions the lack of chivalry from Rayfold, expressing his frustration with the unexpected hostility. Bernaf retorts, accusing Ghislain of being the rude one for arriving unannounced and unsettling Amelia, justifying his aggressive stance. Bernaf declares there's no need for politeness towards Ghislain as their swords clash in a heated exchange. The fight continues with Ghislain launching a powerful attack, showcasing his strength and determination. Ghislain and Bernaf are locked in a dynamic struggle, each trying to gain the upper hand in the duel. Ghislain skillfully dodges Bernaf's attack, demonstrating his agility and quick reflexes. The scene shows Ghislain and Bernaf facing off from a distance, preparing for the next move in their intense battle. Bernaf reflects on Ghislain's unexpected skill, realizing that the young lord is not just talk, but a formidable opponent. Ghislain stands confidently, his presence commanding respect as he proves he's no rookie in battle. Amelia questions Bernaf's hesitation, urging him to act against Ghislain, whom she dismisses as a mere punk. Amelia demands Bernaf bring her Ghislain's head, asserting her authority and impatience. Bernaf remains silent, contemplating Amelia's command, showing his internal conflict. Bernaf assures Amelia that he won't disappoint her, readying himself for the fight. Bernaf, with a determined look, calls forth his power, preparing to face Ghislain with full force. Ghislain challenges Bernaf's authority, questioning the knight's audacity to order him around. Ghislain acknowledges Bernaf's insistence, preparing to engage in the duel with a sense of duty. Ghislain, with resolve, agrees to face Bernaf, ready to meet the challenge head-on. Bernaf launches a powerful attack towards Ghislain, who is ready to counter. The intensity of the battle is evident in their expressions. Ghislain braces himself against Bernaf's swift assault, acknowledging his opponent's speed and skill. Ghislain realizes Bernaf's speed, expressing surprise at how fast his adversary moves. Bernaf's determined expression shows his focus and commitment to the fight, not backing down. The battle between Ghislain and Bernaf escalates, with both fighters exchanging rapid and powerful blows. Amelia watches in disbelief as Ghislain holds his ground against Bernaf, questioning how he can fight on equal footing. Amelia's eyes narrow with determination, hinting at her underlying intentions or plans. Ghislain and Bernaf engage in a fierce clash, their swords meeting with explosive force. Ghislain skillfully parries Bernaf's attack, demonstrating his refined swordsmanship. The duel continues with Ghislain and Bernaf locked in a close combat struggle, each trying to overpower the other. Bernaf is caught off guard by Ghislain's swift move, showing a moment of surprise. The battle continues with Bernaf launching a powerful downward strike at Ghislain, who is on the defensive. Bernaf's attack is fierce and relentless, pushing Ghislain to his limits. Ghislain smirks, recognizing a repeated tactic from Bernaf, ready to counter it. In a dynamic move, Bernaf and Ghislain are locked in close combat, each trying to gain the upper hand. Ghislain's eyes widen as he faces a challenging maneuver from Bernaf. The struggle intensifies as Bernaf and Ghislain grapple, each determined to overpower the other. Bernaf confidently states that the same tactic won't work twice, showing his adaptability in battle. Bernaf executes a powerful move, sending Ghislain crashing to the ground with explosive force. Ghislain grits his teeth in pain, struggling to recover from Bernaf's impactful attack. Bernaf attacks with a fierce overhead strike, showing his determination to overpower Ghislain. Bernaf's relentless assault continues as he presses Ghislain to the ground, demonstrating his strength. Ghislain manages to evade, leaping back to create distance between himself and Bernaf. Ghislain realizes Bernaf is using mana to endure the fight, acknowledging the challenge he faces. Bernaf acknowledges Ghislain's unexpected skill, noting that true understanding comes from direct combat. Bernaf critiques Ghislain's fighting style, suggesting it was learned through real combat rather than formal training. Bernaf dismisses Ghislain's methods as unsuitable against him, asserting his superiority. Bernaf declares that Ghislain's deviation ends here, showing his confidence in ending the fight. Ghislain admits the difficulty of the battle, recognizing the challenge Bernaf presents. Ghislain analyzes Bernaf's precise attacks, noting the difficulty in overcoming him due to size and technique. Ghislain realizes that Bernaf might have been more than he could handle initially, but faces him nonetheless. A moment of realization as Ghislain acknowledges the urgency of the situation. Ghislain, with determination, notes that he doesn't have much time either, implying the need for decisive action. Ghislain charges at Bernaf, ready to execute a powerful attack. Bernaf senses the presence of mana, surprised by Ghislain's unexpected technique. Bernaf is perplexed by a strange thread of mana that seems to confuse him. A sudden impact catches Bernaf by surprise, with Ghislain's attack landing effectively. Ghislain exploits the moment, launching a powerful physical attack against Bernaf. Ghislain delivers a heavy punch, showing his fierce determination in the battle. Bernaf is shocked and confused by Ghislain's unexpected ability and quick assault, raising questions about what just happened. Amelia shouts Bernaf's name, showing her concern as the battle intensifies. Ghislain prepares a powerful finishing move, aiming to strike Bernaf decisively. Ghislain launches a fierce downward strike, determined to end the fight. Bernaf desperately dodges Ghislain's attack, narrowly avoiding a critical hit. Both fighters trade blows in a rapid exchange, each pushing the other to their limits. The battle continues with Ghislain and Bernaf trying to gain advantage as the audience watches tensely. Bernaf advises Amelia to leave, expressing concern for her safety as the situation becomes more dangerous. Bernaf decides to fight with full force, committed to giving his all against Ghislain. Ghislain smirks, enjoying the challenge and expressing his satisfaction with the escalating duel. Ghislain admits he hasn't faced such an entertaining opponent in a long time, exhilarated by the intense battle. Amelia Rayfold is rushing through a lavish hallway, clutching her dress, clearly in a hurry and distressed. Amelia is fuming with anger, thinking about how Ghislain has humiliated her. She wonders who leaked information about the Merchant Guild to Ghislain, suspecting it was the only way he could know so much. Amelia reflects on the rumors about Ghislain's past feats, questioning if they were true or just exaggerated tales. Frustrated, Amelia curses under her breath, feeling overwhelmed by the situation. She questions the effectiveness of the guards she stationed, wondering why they aren't doing their job. Amelia encounters a mysterious figure in a dark cloak standing among fallen guards, creating a tense atmosphere. The cloaked figure, Belinda, stands confidently amidst the chaos, having taken down the guards. Belinda reveals herself, greeting Amelia with a sly smile, indicating familiarity. Amelia is shocked to recognize Belinda, Ghislain's maid, and questions her presence. Belinda hushes Amelia, signaling her to be quiet. Belinda approaches Amelia from behind, placing a hand over her mouth to silence her. Amelia is startled as Belinda reveals a spider on her lips. Belinda comments on the spider, recalling a past incident involving Amelia and spiders. Belinda reminisces about overhearing a conversation during an engagement ceremony, linking it to Amelia's past. A flashback shows Amelia's siblings teasing her about spiders, leading to her using them for revenge. Belinda questions Amelia's motives, suggesting her actions might be a form of self-assertion. Belinda drops the spider, implying it doesn't suit Amelia, and asks for her cooperation. Belinda stomps on the spider, emphasizing her point. Belinda asks Amelia for her cooperation, leaving the crushed spider behind. Ghislain and Bernath face off in a tense duel, their swords drawn and ready. Ghislain senses the roughness in the air, preparing for the intense battle ahead. Bernath is overwhelmed by the sheer amount of mana emanating from Ghislain. Bernath acknowledges Ghislain as an entertaining opponent, ready to engage. Bernath taunts Ghislain, questioning his noble status and comparing him to a mercenary. Ghislain confidently asserts his nobility, challenging Bernath's words. The duel intensifies as both fighters prepare to clash, with Bernath addressing Ghislain. The battle reaches a peak as Ghislain and Bernath's swords collide with explosive force. Bernath warns Ghislain not to disgrace the nobility, as their powers clash dramatically. The fight continues with a flurry of powerful strikes, showcasing their intense combat skills. Ghislain is intensely focused, dodging an attack with determination in his eyes. He is surprised by Bernath's relentless assault, realizing the intensity of the fight. Bernath pushes forward aggressively, his attacks fierce and unyielding. Ghislain, frustrated, decides to counterattack with full force. The duel continues with both fighters clashing swords, neither willing to back down. Ghislain launches a powerful strike, aiming to overpower Bernath. Bernath remains focused, countering Ghislain's attack with precision. Bernath's sword glows with energy as he prepares to strike back. He skillfully maneuvers his sword, ready to deliver a decisive blow. The battle rages on, with Bernath and Ghislain exchanging powerful blows, each trying to gain the upper hand. Ghislain is determined, despite being pushed to his limits in the battle. Bernath declares that Ghislain's last attack was his final effort. The two continue their intense duel, each trying to outmaneuver the other. Blood splatters, indicating the ferocity of their clash. Bernath is momentarily silent, processing the intensity of the fight. Ghislain uses his shoulder to push away Bernath's blade, bracing for injury. The duel continues with both fighters locked in a fierce exchange of blows. Bernath acknowledges the need to stay vigilant until the end, hinting at a final move. The battle rages on, with both fighters showing no signs of backing down. Ghislain launches a powerful upward strike, aiming to turn the tide of the battle. Bernath distinguishes himself from those who fight for entertainment, emphasizing his serious approach. The duel continues with Bernath maintaining control, showcasing his skill. Ghislain finds the battle entertaining, despite the challenges he faces. Ghislain, determined and focused, prepares for his next move. Bernath's speed and range allow him to dominate the fight, countering Ghislain's attempts to grapple. Ghislain realizes his current mana is insufficient to counter Bernath's strength. Ghislain acknowledges his current mana limitations, but hints at a hidden reserve. Ghislain regrets having to use his full power, but sees no other choice. Ghislain reveals that Bernath overlooked his unique mana cultivation technique, preparing to unleash it. Ghislain activates his unique mana cultivation technique, ready to turn the tide of the battle. Ghislain unleashes his third core, dramatically increasing his power in the battle. With newfound strength, Ghislain clashes with Bernath, their swords meeting with intense force. The battle intensifies as Ghislain's enhanced power challenges Bernath's defenses. The two fighters collide with explosive energy, showcasing the peak of their duel. Bernaf acknowledges Ghislain's strength, surprised by his explosive mana. Bernaf wonders how Ghislain can wield such powerful mana during combat. A commanding stop interrupts the intense battle, signaling a halt. Bernaf faces Ghislain, a sword poised near his face, indicating the fight's conclusion. Ghislain stands victorious, pointing his sword at Bernaf, with Belinda observing the scene. Amelia, frustrated, offers Ghislain 10,000 gold to leave, clearly upset by the situation. Ghislain finds the situation troublesome, wishing Amelia had cooperated earlier. Bernaf is startled as Ghislain's sword is pointed at him, indicating his defeat. Belinda comments on the intense situation, humorously referring to it as a lover's quarrel. Ghislain approaches Amelia, informing her of some unfortunate news. Ghislain announces that the fee has increased to 20,000 gold, reflecting the chaos caused. In a grand hall, the aftermath of a fierce battle is evident. The room is in disarray, with Amord guards laying unconscious, illustrating the intensity of the recent duel. Chaos fills the room as flashes of energy burst forth, lighting up the space to show everyone the aftermath of the battle's climax. Amelia confronts her escort knight, Bernaf, as they stand together in a lavish room, evaluating the fallout from the intense conflict. Bernaf apologizes to Amelia, admitting he underestimated Ghislain's power, recognizing his extraordinary mana abilities that rival those of an advanced knight. Amelia, deep in thought, acknowledges that Ghislain has changed significantly. She ponders over the implications of his growing power. Questioning this development, Bernaf considers whether they should report the unusual display of power to their allies in the Delphine Duchy. Amelia quickly responds, cautioning Bernaf to hold his tongue about extending further controversial matters, especially about Duke Delphine. Amelia emphasizes the dangers of the Duke finding out about their current predicament. She portrays the genuine fear of what might come if secrets were revealed. Amelia elaborates on the covert agreement she shares with Duke Delphine to support a rebellion in exchange for help dismantling Perdium's rule, realizing the threat if exposed. Determined and intense, Amelia declares that they must stop Ghislain at any cost, since he might know of their secret dealings that tie into larger plans. Bernaf acknowledges Amelia's orders with a determined understood, ready to take action. Amelia inquires about Ghislain's condition. Bernaf reports that Ghislain sustained multiple light injuries and a significant wound on his shoulder. Bernaf explains that Ghislain's excessive use of mana during the battle has left him weakened, ensuring he won't be at full strength for some time. Bernaf hints at a lingering concern, suggesting there's more to consider beyond Ghislain's current state. Amelia decides they must avoid using their own knights to keep their plans secret, acknowledging the need for discretion. Amelia reveals they have a special group trained for such situations, hinting at a more covert approach. Bernaf is surprised by Amelia's plan to use the Wildcats, a group known for their stealth and skill. The Wildcats are described as a group of war orphans and those without status, highly skilled and perfect for secretive missions. Amelia instructs Bernaf to gather a dozen Wildcats, specifically those proficient in mana, to carry out their plan against Ghislain. Bernaf processes Amelia's instructions, understanding the gravity and precision required for the task ahead. The ravine is described as a strategic location, perfect for an ambush due to its remote and narrow terrain, connecting Rayfold territory to Perdium. Bernaf, with determination, agrees to prepare the Wildcats for the mission, ready to execute Amelia's plan. Amelia, filled with resolve, vows that Ghislain will pay for the humiliation he caused her, setting the stage for her revenge. Ghislain, showing his resilience, tends to his wounds while a caravan moves swiftly in the background, indicating his journey continues. Ghislain suspects Amelia's involvement in the recent events, pondering her role in the unfolding conflict. Inside the moving carriage, Old Man Fergus and Belinda express concern for Ghislain's well-being, but he reassures them he's fine. Ghislain reflects on his injuries, noting they aren't severe, and acknowledges he might have overexerted himself during the battle. Ghislain considers the 20,000 gold he received from Amelia, recognizing it as a crucial resource for rebuilding his territory. He contemplates the potential consequences of eliminating Amelia, realizing it would lead to unavoidable war, which he wants to avoid for his territory's safety. Ghislain decides to step back, understanding that Perdium is already struggling with other conflicts, making it a strategic retreat for now. Ghislain reflects on the leverage he holds over Amelia, knowing the secret of the Arctium Merchants Guild, which adds pressure on her. With determination, Ghislain plans to use this knowledge to his advantage, indicating a strategic move against Amelia. Belinda sits silently, contemplating the situation as she exchanges a glance with Ghislain, hinting at unspoken understanding. Inside the carriage, Old Man Fergus and Belinda discuss the current state of affairs, confirming that events are unfolding as planned. Belinda recounts her role in the plan, detailing how she subdued the guards and took Amelia hostage, following Ghislain's instructions. Ghislain acknowledges Belinda's actions, realizing he had assigned Fergus to the task, but appreciates her initiative. Suddenly, Ghislain experiences a sharp pain, indicating a physical reaction to his recent exertion. Old Man Fergus and Belinda react with concern as Ghislain collapses, showing the toll his power usage has taken on him. Ghislain explains the physical recoil from using his third core, noting it's an improvement from before, but still a challenge. Determined to overcome this limitation, Ghislain resolves to find a way to increase his mana quickly, hinting at future plans. Ghislain reaches out to Belinda, seeking her help with his mana issues, showing trust in her abilities. Belinda assesses Ghislain's mana flow, noting it's chaotic, and prepares to assist him with her skills. Using her expertise, Belinda works to stabilize Ghislain's mana, with Old Man Fergus observing the process. Ghislain is surprised by the effectiveness of Belinda's intervention, feeling the impact of her skillful manipulation. He experiences a sudden realization of the power and precision of Belinda's technique, feeling its effects intensely. Ghislain feels the release of pressure as his mana flow is corrected, showcasing Belinda's proficiency. Reflecting on the experience, Ghislain acknowledges that his mana pathways have improved, impressed by the complexity of the method. Ghislain recognizes Belinda's exceptional abilities, suspecting she is more than just a maid, given her background. He ponders Belinda's true identity, questioning why someone of her skill is working as a maid in the countryside. Ghislain concludes that having skilled individuals like Belinda is crucial, as he anticipates greater challenges ahead, realizing this is just the beginning of his journey. As the carriage speeds along, Belinda expresses her unwavering support for Ghislain, asking about his financial dealings with Amelia. Ghislain admits he needed funds, and Amelia was the only wealthy person he knew, hinting at his strategic use of resources. Belinda and Old Man Fergus react with surprise to Ghislain's candid explanation, showing their concern for his bold actions. Belinda questions if Ghislain's financial dealings were the reason for breaking his engagement, worried about potential repercussions. Ghislain reassures Belinda, confident that Amelia won't inform her father, Count Rayfold, about their arrangement. With a confident smile, Ghislain asks Belinda if she trusts him, reinforcing their bond and shared goals. Belinda, slightly flustered, agrees but insists on knowing Ghislain's plans for the money, emphasizing their partnership. Ghislain reveals his ambitious plan to explore the Forest of Beasts, surprising Belinda with his bold declaration. The scene shifts to the ominous Forest of Beasts, where Ghislain declares his intent to pioneer the area, showcasing his determination. Old Man Fergus warns Ghislain against the dangerous venture, reminding him of past failed attempts to develop the forest. Ghislain reminds Old Man Fergus of a previous request, hinting at a plan that involves someone important. Old Man Fergus looks concerned as he recalls the request, showing his loyalty and readiness to assist Ghislain. A close-up of Old Man Fergus's determined expression, indicating his commitment to Ghislain's cause. Old Man Fergus confirms he found the person Ghislain asked about, but expresses concern about their condition. Ghislain insists on heading to the location immediately, despite Belinda's concerns about his current state. Ghislain explains to Belinda that Amelia won't let them go easily, suspecting she might try to silence him permanently. Belinda offers her fighting skills, but Ghislain insists on needing a vanguard, acknowledging her strengths, but seeking specialized help. Ghislain reveals his plan to recruit a vanguard, showing his strategic thinking and determination to strengthen his team. The group arrives at a secluded location, setting the stage for a significant meeting with the potential vanguard. Ghislain knocks on a wooden door, signaling the start of an important encounter that could change the course of their journey. The group arrives at a seemingly abandoned house, questioning if they have the right location for their meeting. An elderly man with a rugged appearance opens the door, hinting at a mysterious presence within the house. The man, with a stern expression, questions the identity of the visitors, showing his guarded nature. Ghislain, Belinda, Old Man Fergus, and Ricardo stand together, ready to address the man, indicating their united front. Belinda expresses doubt about the man's ability to help, but Ghislain insists they are in the right place. The elderly man remains silent, observing the group with a cautious demeanor, suggesting he is assessing them. The man dismisses the group, telling them not to waste his time, but Ghislain seems to recognize him. Ghislain identifies the man as Gillian, the ex-captain of the Ratatosk mercenaries, revealing his importance. Gillian's expression shifts, showing a mix of surprise and recognition as he processes Ghislain's words. Ghislain extends a hand to Gillian, expressing his eagerness to meet him, signaling the start of a potential alliance.
Old Man Fergus and Ricardo are surprised as they recognize the Ratatosk mercenaries. The Ratatosk mercenaries are introduced as a legendary group of weapon masters, now disbanded. Their reputation is so great that knights everywhere have heard of them. Gillian is revealed as the captain of the Ratatosk mercenaries. Ghislain approaches Gillian, expressing his intention to meet him. A sudden attack is launched, creating a sense of urgency. Ghislain narrowly dodges the attack, maintaining his composure. Fergus, Ricardo, and Rachel react with shock and concern. Gillian acknowledges Ghislain, realizing he is known to him. The group stands ready, facing Gillian, prepared for what comes next. Gillian demands to know the purpose of Ghislain's visit. Belinda advises Ghislain to be cautious, sensing Gillian's unstable state. The term eternal punishment is mentioned, shocking Gillian. Ghislain reveals he knows the cure for Rachel's illness, capturing everyone's attention. Ghislain asks if this information interests Gillian. Rachel is shown suffering from high fever, coughing blood, and red spots on her skin. The illness is named eternal punishment, highlighting its severity. The group witnesses Rachel's painful condition, with Gillian in distress. Gillian cries out for Rachel, while Ghislain stands ready to help. Ghislain reassures Gillian that it's not too late to save Rachel. Ghislain reflects on his failed attempt to recruit Gillian, who ended his life after Rachel's death. Ghislain observes the house, noting that Gillian spent everything on Rachel's treatment, leaving only weapons. Rachel, in agony, pleads with her father, expressing her wish to die. Ghislain insists there's no time to waste and prepares to start the treatment. Belinda places a hand on Ghislain's shoulder, stopping him. Belinda urges Ghislain to return, concerned for his safety. Belinda questions Ghislain's plan, doubting the possibility of curing such a severe illness. Ghislain confidently declares he can fix Rachel, surprising Belinda. Ghislain asks Belinda if she trusts him, seeking her support. Belinda is taken aback, processing Ghislain's determination. Ghislain hands Belinda a list, instructing her to take it. He asks her to buy all the medicinal herbs listed and return quickly. Belinda is surprised by the contents of the list. Ghislain reflects on the importance of knowledge for survival as a mercenary. He mentions that eternal punishment will have a cure discovered in the future. Ghislain recalls the cure's simplicity and its popularity in the past. The main issue with the cure was the high cost of ingredients. Ghislain reveals Fairy's Blessing, a crucial ingredient for the cure. He begins preparing the potion by finely chopping the Fairy's Blessing and herbs. The chopped ingredients are packed into a bottle, and distilled alcohol is poured over them. Ghislain shakes the bottle to mix the potion thoroughly and lets it sit. He adds the remaining ingredients and stirs, while others watch intently. Ghislain presents the completed potion to Gillian. He instructs Gillian to have Rachel drink the potion. Gillian carefully administers the potion to Rachel. Rachel's condition begins to stabilize as she lies still. Belinda and Fergus notice the red spots on Rachel's skin fading away. Gillian is amazed that the medicine is working on Rachel. Ghislain confidently confirms the potion's effectiveness. Gillian is astonished, questioning how Ghislain achieved what even divine power couldn't. Ghislain explains that divine power enhances vitality but isn't a fundamental cure. Gillian's hands tremble as he processes the information. Ghislain asks if his daughter can truly be cured. Ghislain assures him that Rachel will be cured in a couple of months. Ghislain is overwhelmed with emotion, processing the hope given to him. Ghislain bows deeply to Ghislain, showing his gratitude. Ghislain asks what Ghislain wants in return for his help. He feels he has nothing left to offer but his own body. Ghislain declares his willingness to serve Ghislain in any capacity. Ghislain clarifies that he seeks Ghislain's leadership, not servitude, for the Ratatosk mercenaries. Ghislain notices something special in Ghislain's eyes. Ghislain is described as having the eyes of a dreamer. Ghislain cuts off his braid, symbolizing a new beginning. Ghislain and his companions stand together, ready for the future. Fergus, Ricardo, and Belinda are shocked by Ghislain's transformation. Ghislain appears revitalized and completely different from before. Ghislain walks with renewed purpose, leaving the past behind. Ghislain asks if anyone else might come looking for Ghislain. Ghislain confirms that it's just their group. Ghislain inquires about enemies, and Ghislain acknowledges he has some and expects more. Ghislain prepares to take action, gripping his weapon firmly. He launches a powerful attack, demonstrating his combat skills. Ghislain continues his assault, showcasing his agility and strength. He grabs an intruder by the neck, stopping them in their tracks. Ghislain demands to know who sent the intruder. The intruder is shocked by Ghislain's strength and questions how he did it. Ghislain asks Ghislain what to do with the captured intruder, hinting he knows the sender. Ghislain reluctantly considers using his blade, despite the day's events. Ghislain stops Ghislain, indicating he will handle the situation. Ghislain insists on taking responsibility, asking Ghislain to leave it to him. Ghislain swiftly eliminates the intruder without hesitation. Belinda observes Ghislain and Ghislain, contemplating the situation. Belinda is concerned about Ghislain recruiting someone as dangerous as Ghislain. Ghislain kneels before Ghislain, acknowledging him as his leader. Ghislain pledges his loyalty to Ghislain, entrusting his life to him. Ghislain is pleased, seeing Ghislain as a key ally for his plans, and looks forward to their collaboration.